Starfleet, the Age of the Lords. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 201 Return. The person in front of her is the 9th princess of the branch of the Star Spirit clan who unified the Tank Star region. This branch of a large force is also in existence that is extremely valuable to Feng Mo now. You must know that the forces in the entire universe are as small as a planet, as large as galaxies, small star fields, large star fields, and star realms. They are strictly divided. These are universal divisions in the universe. These are just abbreviations. In the universe, small star fields are also called galaxy groups, large star fields are also called galaxy clusters, and star realms are also called super galaxy clusters. They are just names. The predecessor of the Star Sea Human Federation was composed of 2 small star fields, while the Tank Star Field was composed of at least 1,000 galaxies, and its territory was many times that of the Star Sea Human Federation. Feng Mo couldn't imagine what level of civilization the Star Spirit tribe was. Their technological development to that stage was a terrifying existence. The unknown represents fear and curiosity, but Feng Mo is in awe of the unknown, and he does not want to have too much in-depth communication with the 9th princess of the Star Spirit tribe. Your Highness the 9th princess, can you tell me why you came here, how you were caught, and where you will be sent back? Feng Mo asked gently. Everyone is curious, and he also wanted to know how the noble 9th princess was caught here. My father has passed away, several brothers and sisters are vying for the throne, and 9 sons are fighting for the throne. The first step is to eliminate the weak ones, either by joining forces, by framing them, or by annexing them. Unfortunately, I was framed. I am living here, and I am still trapped by this force. The Interstellar Machine Clan knew the trace and was kidnapped here. I have heard that the Star Sea Human Federation is a 5th-level civilized force. It is said that it is about to be promoted to a 6th-level civilized force. If you can support my revenge, after I ascend the throne, you will definitely help the Star Sea Human Federation be promoted to a 7th-level civilized force. After Xing Xuan finished speaking, she looked at Feng Mo with expectant eyes. This made Feng Mo very entangled in his heart. Once he fell into this pit of inheriting, he would never get out of it, but the interests involved were too huge. Very tempting. But Feng is no different from ordinary people. He has always been very cautious about things that he is not sure about. After thinking for a while, he decided not to help for the time being, so he said tactfully, Your Highness, 9th Princess, the Star Sea Human Federation is now torn apart. Half of the 17 empires have declared independence. The entire federation is disorganized. The time is not far away from disintegration. I am afraid that I will not be able to help you. Xing Xuan was silent for a long time after hearing this, and then said, What about you, Lord of the Storm Empire? Can you help me? Xuan has a T6 level interstellar energy seed, and also knows the whereabouts of a T7 level interstellar energy seed. This interstellar energy seed and a piece of information will be used as a reward for helping me. When Xuan is crowned queen, you, the Lord of the Storm Empire, will be the male master of the 7th level Star Empire. Xuan is willing to be your wife. I use myself as a bargaining chip, and I just ask you to use the power of the whole country to help. Xuan promises to live up to you. After Xing Xuan finished speaking, she looked at Feng Mo expectantly, but Feng Mo's spirit was no longer with her. After she finished speaking, the Xinhuo panel gave a temporary task. Temporary mission: 9 sons seize the direct descendants, help Xing Xuan become the queen of the Star Empire. Reward: T7 Kai class interstellar battleship design drawings, T7 Huayu class interstellar stargate design drawings. After Feng Mo read it, he admitted that he was tempted, not entirely because of the conditions put forward by Xing Xuan, but with the current strength of the Storm Empire, compared with the Star Empire, it was like an egg or a stone, which would break at a touch. Your Highness the 9th Princess, I can promise to help you, but the current strength of the Storm Empire is simply not enough, so it will take time. Do you understand? Hearing that Feng Mo was willing to help her, Qing Xuan's eyes went from dim to surprise in an instant, and then she looked at Feng Mo seriously and said, "Don't worry, Xuan is not ungrateful. As long as you sincerely help me, the above conditions will not be broken." The royal bloodline of the Star Spirit clan has a detection talent that can detect certain information about the opponent. A third-level genetic warrior, bone age. He has just turned 30 and is a lord of a fifth-level civilization. "This treasure is worth betting on," Qing Xuan said with a smile, and Feng Mo instantly understood why she was able to say so much and make so many vows when she met him for the first time. It was obvious that she was also a master of betting. Feng Mo was suddenly full of curiosity about the bloodline talents of the Star Spirit tribe, but he would not ask too much. Everyone's talents are secrets, so don't explore them easily. "Your Highness the Ninth Princess, you are well informed. If possible, Feng would like to invite you to serve in the Storm Fleet." Feng Mo said it very seriously. Qing Xuan's talent could help him. Feng Mo didn't know how powerful this talent was, but according to the information Qing Xuan said about himself, it was enough. After hearing this, Qing Xuan stood up and walked to Feng Mo, lay down in Feng Mo's ear and whispered, "Lord, Xuan is what you want. In addition, let me tell you a secret. The talents of women from the Star Spirit royal family can be shared with their husbands through intercourse. In other words, if your lord is covetous of Xuan's talents, you can marry Xuan, but don't be strong." After saying that, he looked at Feng Mo and winked playfully, while Feng Mo was filled with surprise. How could this be just a talent for detection, but also a mind-reading talent? It's getting more and more interesting. Feng Mo can understand Qing Xuan's thoughts. First, Feng Mo can use force against her and possess her, but it will cause endless revenge. Infighting among races is normal, but with the new emperor coming to power, he will not let go of those who have killed him. The outsiders of the clan will destroy the Storm Empire even if they make an appearance. The second is that Qing Xuan is really confident, or does she have any means of self-protection? Or is she really betting? Feng Mo was a bit elusive about the plus-size beauty in front of him. It was indeed a woman's deepest secret, and it was difficult to guess. "Pai Pei, take Princess Xuan to a rest room to rest," Feng Mo said to Han Pai Pei behind him, seemingly unmoved by Qing Xuan's teasing. After Feng Mo finished speaking, Qing Xuan looked a little surprised. This man clearly wanted her very much in his heart, but on the surface he was not moved at all. He was a bit interesting, very determined, not affected by external things, and was more suitable for investment. Qing Xuan pulled down her combat uniform, revealing her pure white skin, and then gently touched the pendant on her chest with her left hand. A box made entirely of lead appeared in her hand. She put the box down and said, "Here is the T6 level interstellar energy seed. This is your first reward. As for this one, it is developed using a space folding technology. When your power reaches the 7th level interstellar civilization, naturally you will know." As if she knew what Feng Mo wanted to ask, Qing Xuan pointed at the pendant and said to Feng Mo, Chapter 202 T5G Weight Interstellar Jump Ship. Qing Xuan left and went to the lounge with Han Pai Pei, but Feng Mo's heart could not calm down for a long time. This woman was very scary. She could detect and read minds, and she had higher interstellar technology. To be honest, Feng Mo was very tempted, but he did not dare to touch her, because Feng Mo had an empire behind him and he was responsible for the lives of hundreds of billions of people, which made him unable to act easily. After calming down, Feng Mo's eyes were cast on the Xinhuo task panel again. The task of saving the Protoss had been completed, and it was time to receive the reward. Temporary task: repel the interstellar mechanical warships and rescue the Protoss. Completed. Reward: T5 gigantic interstellar jump ship design drawings. Feng Mo clicked to receive the reward. Reward received successfully. Obtained: T5 gigantic interstellar jump ship design drawings. Finally, the design drawings of the jump ship were obtained. This is a new type of starship, a technology that the entire Star Sea Human Federation currently does not have. This means that the technology reserves of the Storm Empire have changed from a pursuer to a surpasser. The Storm Empire will surpass the Star Sea Human Federation sooner or later, and he believes that this day is not far away. T5 massive interstellar jump ship, armor strength, 2000 units hull data, 8 km times 2 km times 1.6 km speed, 420 knots warp engine, level 5 star shield energy, level 5, 100% weapon, T5 micro jump gate, micro star gate. This starship has no attributes and only needs an interstellar coordinate to teleport. It has the same technology as a stargate, and it is even a movable stargate, but it is a miniature one. The T4 stargate used by the Storm Empire today is a small stargate. Although the technology level is not high, it is enough. The micro stargate can generally teleport no more than 100 starships at a time, which can only be used for small-scale battles. In addition, this kind of jump ship has many restrictions, and the range of each transmission is also limited, which is the size of the Storm Empire. But it is enough. If the Storm Fleet does not count the logistics fleet, there are currently less than 100 starships, and the transmission within 100 ships is completely possible. However, the energy consumption of this T5G interstellar jump ship is very terrifying. Even one transmission consumes 10 times more energy than a round of salvos from the Paladin. However, the Storm Empire is a big country and does not lack this little energy. Feng Mo still follows the old rules and asks Al to personally drive the Orca to the Beast Star system to bring back the design drawings and personally escort them to the underground storage room of the Hurricane Star. Then, Elisa will be responsible for the subsequent research and construction. Feng Mo also hopes that Elisa can thoroughly understand the design drawings of this starship to see if she can obtain the corresponding technology and whether it can be applied to other starships to enhance the performance of the starship. In this regard, Feng Mo rarely took the initiative to urge her to build this jump ship as soon as possible. He just said that he was not in a hurry to build it, but first understood the design drawings and fully studied the technology before building it. The fleet successfully returned to the Beast Ming Galaxy. At this time, the Beast Ming Galaxy has fully entered the first-level combat readiness. There are starship squadrons patrolling the entire galaxy, and the Storm Fleet's 5 T5 Wolf Kings, 2 T5 Blackbirds and 1 T5 Pegasus have been deployed on the Beast Ming main star. Feng Mo decided that he would be on high alert here for the next month. The interstellar mechanical clan has always been arrogant. Their humble appearance hides arrogance and rigidity. This time they suffered such a big loss, it is impossible not to retaliate. After returning to the Beast Ming main star, Feng Mo will not have time to take care of Shang Xuan for the time being, but will hand her over to Hua Qin, asking her to find a good room in the starport base and send 2 female soldiers to serve her well. Feng Mo dispersed all his 2 T5 Blackbirds and 2 T4 Tailed Scorpions, ambushing in the interstellar space and around the Ceylon main star, closely monitoring the every move of the interstellar mechanical clan. As Feng Mo expected, the Ceylon galaxy was very lively. A large number of interstellar mechanical starships came from afar and gathered on the Ceylon main star. They also organized the fleet of interstellar pirates to act as cannon fodder and headed towards the Xiaoming galaxy. After receiving the news, Feng Mo hurried to the Xiaoming starport and called Zhao Zi over. Since this star beast was defeated by the Fengshan and implanted with a slave chip, it has been eating and drinking well on the Xiaoming main star, and its body has become much larger. Although it lives a life of being drawn blood every week, it feels that compared with the dark and narrow space before, the Xiaoming main star is simply a paradise, with plenty of food and free life. Of course, it would be even better if it could eat those annoying staff who drew blood every day. Zhao Zi thought so, but he couldn't do it because Feng Mo didn't allow it. Bringing Zhao Zi this time is also a help. According to the video and radar scans sent back by the 2 T5 Xuaniao, the interstellar mechanical clan has assembled a total of 240 T5 class mechanical warships and 1000 T4 class mechanical warships, and the interstellar pirates have 130 T5 starships and 700 T4 starships. The 2 fleets together have a total of 2070 ships, including 370 T5 starships and 1700 T4 starships. This is a very powerful force, But Feng Mo is not completely helpless. Feng Mo urgently transferred the T-4 starships of the Tanjing fleet to the main star of Xiaoming and temporarily merged with the Xiaoming galaxy. The two fleets have a total of 1,200 T-4 starships with the addition of 4 quasi-T-5 flagships and 10 T-5 starships of the Storm fleet, and relying on a space station with 300 T-4 class laser cannons. Feng Mo is very confident that he can drive this interstellar mechanical fleet out of the Beast Ming galaxy. At this time, Feng Mo was in the main control room of the Fengshan, sitting on the captain's chair, watching the videos continuously transmitted back by the two T-5 Xuaniao, until the mechanical fleet entered the interstellar space of the Beast Ming galaxy. Feng Mo issued a combat order. Mellow. The two T-5 Xuaniao will target all local T-5 starships and carry out saturation strikes. You have only one task, which is to use the stealth advantage of the T-5 Xuaniao to harass the enemy fleet and continuously assassinate the T-5 starships of the enemy fleet. Yes, Lord, Mello responded and began to take action. For Feng Mo, the only threat to the interstellar mechanical fleet is the 370 T-5 class starships, which is not a small number. There are only 10 storm fleets in the Beast Ming galaxy, so Feng Mo will take advantage of the mechanical fleet entering the interstellar space to launch a sneak attack. Because of the characteristics of intergalactic space, this can maximize the protection of the T-5 Xuaniao from being attacked, and can successfully sneak attack the enemy. An assassin must give the enemy a fatal blow in a hidden place. The two T-5 Xuaniao quickly took action, sailing behind the mechanical fleets on the left and right. Lock on the enemy T-5 mechanical warships, give priority to attack, don't linger in the battle, and leave quickly after launching the first round of missiles. Don't give them time to react. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 203 The Mechanical Tribe Attacks. T-5 Xuaniao only has 3 types of shipborne weapons, namely neutron missiles, antimatter annihilation missiles and proton torpedoes. In the ammunition depot of T-5 Xuaniao, there are 100, 300 and 500 of these 3 weapons in reserve respectively. That is, there are a total of 900 missiles. Milo divides these into 3 launches, that is, 3 rounds of attack. Each round locks on 30 enemy T-5 starships, just to destroy them, without saving ammunition. After issuing the attack order, the 2 T-5 Xuaniao launched the first round of attack at the same time. Among them, 3 antimatter annihilation missiles plus 5 proton torpedoes directly smashed the star shield of the enemy's mechanical warship, and there were even some left. Then, 2 neutron missiles were used to finish off, which could destroy a T-5 mechanical warship. The simple description seems simple, but it is not difficult to operate in practice. The difficulty is how to hit the enemy warship. Although there is an intelligent brain self-aiming system, the warships of both sides are far apart and are in motion at the same time. It is also a test for the crew of T-5 Xuaniao to hit them all. And this is still the most ideal state. Once the interstellar missile is launched, the enemy's radar will detect it in the first time, turn on the star shield, and intercept the close-in defense gun. However, the crew members who are now driving the T-5 Xuaniao are all former T-4 Tail Scorpion crew members. They have carried out this kind of action many times and it has long been commonplace. Feng Mo has full confidence that they can give him a perfect answer. At this time, Basil, the flagship of the mechanical fleet, is constantly observing the defense map of the destroying galaxy generated by radar images. The brilliant record of the Storm fleet really surprised him. But at this time there are only 10 starships in the Storm fleet in the destroying galaxy. Although there are many special starships among them, Basil has mysterious confidence in his fleet. The final victory will definitely belong to the second fleet of the mechanical clan. Alert! A large number of interstellar missiles are locked on our mechanical warships. The star shield is turned on at maximum power, and the close-in defense rapid-fire gun is turned on to intercept the attack. However, the two sneak attack points chosen by Melo are very close to the second fleet of the mechanical clan, in order to prevent them from having too much reaction. When the interstellar missiles fell on the star shield, the close-in defense rapid-fire guns of the mechanical warships had just started. Alarm! Star shield energy is exhausted. Star shield is broken. A burst of alarms sounded in the main control rooms of the major T5 mechanical warships, and a large number of interstellar missiles with tail flames bombarded the star shields of the T5 class mechanical warships, directly smashing them. Before they could react, the remaining interstellar missiles fell directly on the ship's armor, causing a huge explosion. Among them, two T5 class neutron missiles were the most powerful, and the flames of the explosion almost covered the entire T5 class mechanical warship. The energy cabin, ammunition depot and other cabins that are most likely to cause secondary explosions were covered by the explosion. When the secondary explosion began, the entire T5 class mechanical warship was directly blown to pieces, and the interstellar mechanical people in the ship room were also directly annihilated. More than 40 huge fireballs flashed red in the second fleet of the mechanical clan. Basil looked at the radar image in front of him with a grim face. The previous round of attack caused him to lose 44 T5 class mechanical warships. Although Melo's goal was to have two T5 Xoaniao destroy 60 mechanical warships in one round of artillery fire, it was impossible to launch a perfect attack in actual operation. 44 T5 mechanical warships were destroyed, which was already a good record. However, this should be the most enemy destroyed in the 3 rounds of bombing. With the prepared mechanical clan's second fleet, when the radar detected the interstellar missile, it would intercept it as soon as possible. After the next 2 rounds of bombing by the two T5 Xoaniao, the enemy's T5 mechanical warships only lost 53 ships. After 3 rounds of bombing, there were originally 370 T5 class starships, but only 273 were left. There were also a few unlucky T4 starships that were affected by the explosion and were directly blown to pieces. Of course, it was only a single digit, but such losses also made Basil very angry. He still remembered how the Third Fleet was completely wiped out. The humans in the Xinghai Human Federation were very cunning. Especially this one named Feng Mo, who had repeatedly opposed the interstellar mechanical race, causing the mechanical race's Third Fleet to be completely wiped out. He was the culprit, but most of the fleets of their branch were in the south confronting the Star Sea Human Federation. Very few could be mobilized, and only 3 fleets could move freely and make arrangements. Now that the Third Fleet was completely wiped out, only the Second Fleet was still active in the Chaos Star Sea. If something happened to the fleet in his hands again, the interstellar mechanical race's Chaos Star Sea layout would be completely declared a failure. After 3 rounds of bombing, the two T5 Xoaniao turned their bows and returned. Feng Mo also issued a combat order at this time. After replenishing ammunition, the two T5 Xoaniao went to the rear of the enemy fleet for saturation bombing. All starships, including the space station, charged and prepared 400 T4 laser cannons, and T5 Pegasus prepared 2,000 T5 level interstellar missiles. When the two T5 Xoaniao passed through the interstellar space and arrived at the main star of Beast Sound, the mechanical race's Third Fleet had entered the radar range of the Storm Joint Fleet. Feng Mo, who had been waiting for a long time, immediately issued a combat order. Launch the interstellar missile group, fire the space station laser cannon group, all starship main and secondary guns fire. Charge and prepare the T5 class cluster laser cannons, lock the enemy's T5 starships. A series of orders were issued, and the Second Fleet of the Mechanical Clan, which had just emerged from the interstellar space, suffered a devastating blow. 2,000 T5 class interstellar missiles with tail flames fell on the fleet. Fortunately, they were well prepared and immediately launched an interception attack. However, most of the close-range rapid-fire cannons can only intercept interstellar missiles, and the interception rate of laser cannons is very low. The main and secondary guns of more than 1,000 T-4 starships and the 300 laser cannons in the space battle directly destroyed a large number of T-4 starships and T-4 mechanical warships. At the same time, after a round of interception, there were only more than 800 T-5 interstellar missiles left out of the 2,000 T-5 interstellar missiles, which was enough for the Second Fleet of the Mechanical Clan to drink a pot. 800 T-5 interstellar missiles fell and completely ignited a large number of starships. Feng Mo could clearly see through the radar image that after a round of attack by the Storm United Fleet, the red light spots representing the enemy fleet on the radar of the fleet of more than 2,000 starships were extinguished by at least 500. This is the price the fleet has to pay for passing through the interstellar space. This is also why Feng Mo has to send a stealth bomber to explore every time he enters the interstellar space, and the fleet will enter only after it is safe. Because the intergalactic space is a special zone formed between two galaxies, the magnetic field inside is not stable. Although it is not as volatile as the asteroid belt, the unstable magnetic field will reduce the detection range of your radar. So at the moment when the Second Fleet of the Mechanical Clan left the intergalactic space, the radar of the Storm United Fleet could scan the Second Fleet of the Mechanical Clan, but the radar of the Second Fleet of the Mechanical Clan could not scan the Storm United Fleet. This is an information gap, and Feng Mo took advantage of this information gap and destroyed a quarter of the enemy's starships in one fell swoop. Chapter 204 Firepower is King. As soon as the Second Fleet of the Mechanical race sailed out of intergalactic space, they were given a heads up by the Storm Fleet. They were stunned. Basil's face turned even greener when he saw the loss of more than 500 starships on the radar. After the radar finally recovered, an attack order was issued as soon as possible. Scan the Storm Fleet with radar and attack the 10 enemy T-5 starships first. At the same time, Feng Mo also issued a second order. 5 T-5 class cluster star destroyer cannons lock on the enemy T-5 mechanical warship and launch. In an instant, 5 brown light beams directly hit the remaining star shields of the 5 T-5 level mechanical battleships. After shattering the star shields, they directly penetrated the entire mechanical battleship, and then continued to attack the 2 T-4 level mechanical battleships behind them. The battleship was shattered. 3 shots for 1 shot, 15 shots for 5 shots. Scan the enemy fleet's information with radar. Feng Mo continued to issue orders. After radar scanning, there are 1,470 starships remaining in the enemy fleet, including 127 T-5 starships. The second round of T-5 class interstellar missile swarm launch. While the weapons of the Second Fleet of the Interstellar Machinery Clan were being recharged, Feng Mo decisively ordered the T-5 Pegasus to launch a second round of missile salvos. 2,000 rounds of T-5 class interstellar missiles with tail flames hit the warships of the Second Fleet of the Interstellar Machinery Clan like meteors. This time, because there were more than 500 warships missing, the interception rate was not as high as the first time. At least close to thousands of T-5 class star missiles fell on the fleet. A series of bombings began again. At this time, the main and secondary guns of the machine race's Second Fleet were finally charged. Basil immediately ordered the shooting, but the scale was nearly half less than before. A large number of laser cannon interstellar missiles attacked the Storm United Fleet. Feng Mo didn't need too much command. Zinniao reacted naturally. The star shields of the entire fleet were turned on to maximum power, and the close-range rapid-fire cannons carried out interceptive attacks. However, the effect was not great, because most of the attacks were focused on laser cannons. So far, the average interception rate of laser cannon interception among all Star Wars in the entire Starsea Federation is only 15%, while the United Storm Fleet can only reach a maximum of 20%. This is because of the existence of 2 interception-type interstellar biological ships. At this time, the 2 T-4 interceptor interstellar biological ships will of course be there. One is on the left side of the T-5 Pegasus, and the other is between the Fengshan and the Paladin. They are responsible for intercepting the enemy fleet's attack on the 3 starships. Attack. There were originally more than 2,000 mechanical battleships and starships. Now, after 2 rounds of T-5 class interstellar missiles, a salvo of main and secondary guns, and 3 rounds of bombing by T-5 Blackbirds, only a little over 1,000 are left. The attack power of the missile against the Storm United fleet is really limited. The logistics fleet will enter, the tractor beam will be damaged, the destroyed starship will be dragged down for repairs, and the wounded will be treated as much as possible, Feng Mo said. Lord, the main and secondary guns of the fleet have been cooled down, and the T-5 class cluster star destroyer guns will be cooled down in 3 minutes, Han Peipe reported from the side. The main and secondary guns of the Storm combined fleet are recharged, the T-5 Pegasus carries out the 3rd round of coverage strikes, and the T-5 class interstellar missile group is launched. Feng Mo did not save ammunition. This time the T-5 Pegasus came to Feng Mo and directly brought 10,000 T-5 class interstellar missiles. The price of these ammunition alone was equivalent to the price of a Fengshan. But Feng Mo knew that now was not the time to save money. Once the second fleet of the interstellar machine clan was wiped out, he should be able to recover his capital and still have some left over. If he could not lose money, he would make a profit. Lord, the T-5 Blackbird has replenished its ammunition and is now at the rear of the second fleet of the interstellar mechanical tribe. Please give instructions. Mello's voice sounded at the other end of the video, and Feng Mo heard it and gave the order directly. 2 T-5 Blackbirds are responsible for the decapitation operation. This change of T-5 Pegasus will launch a 3rd round of T-5 class interstellar missiles to create opportunities for you. As soon as he finished speaking, 2,000 T-5 class interstellar missiles ejected with tail flames, roaring towards the second fleet of the interstellar machine race. At the same time, 2 T-5 Blackbirds were hiding not far from the rear of the interstellar mechanical race's second fleet. The enemy's flagship was finally locked under radar scanning, but the enemy seemed to know that they were coming to carry out a beheading operation. A T-5 level mechanical battleship was surrounded by 4 T-5 level mechanical battleships guarding it. This was the first time the Mello sisters encountered this situation, but it was very simple, just a saturation coverage strike. There was no need to worry about missing. The 5 T-5 class mechanical warships were within their strike range, and the 2 T-5 Blackbirds reached the best bombing position under the command of Mello. In an instant, 2 T-5 Blackbirds were seen launching T-5 antimatter annihilation missiles and T-5 class proton torpedoes. As mentioned earlier, a T-5 Blackbird has 900 missiles and torpedoes on board. The 2 T-5 Blackbirds launched 1,400 antimatter annihilation missiles and proton torpedoes in an instant, detonating them in a certain space. The power generated was enough to wipe out all T-5 class starships. Even the star shield of the T-6 class starship cannot be said to be able to perfectly resist such a large bombing. And the attack of the 2 T-5 Blackbirds is not over yet. Mello was not worried about the consumption of ammunition and continued to launch the remaining 200 T-5 level neutron missiles one after another. The interstellar mechanical race is considered a big race in the entire universe. It is one of the 10 major races in the universe along with the Star Spirit race. And the branch that is at war with the Star Sea Human Federation is just a branch of this huge race. Even the branches have technologies that the Star Sea Human Federation does not have, such as the technology of installing T-6 class star shields on T-5 class mechanical battleships. It just so happened that Basil, a member of the mechanical tribe, was very afraid of death and deliberately changed the star shield of the flagship to T6 level before the fleet went to the Chaos Star Sea to perform its mission. When the 2 T5 Blackbirds bombed the flagship, a large number of interstellar missiles had been detected by radar, and an interceptive attack was certain. However, it cannot intercept so many interstellar missiles, and the rest can only be carried by the star shield. Fortunately, the flagship's T6 star shield is strong enough, and there are 4 T5 class mechanical warships to help share a certain amount of pressure. This resulted in the flagship's star shield being shattered and the hull armor slightly damaged under the bombardment of 2 T5 Blackbirds, but the 4 T5 mechanical warships were blown to pieces. Moreover, The horrific aftermath of the explosion shattered a large number of surrounding T-4 mechanical battleships into pieces. Feng Mo also saw this scene through the radar video. At the beginning, he felt that there was something wrong with the dark blue star shield of the flagship of the Second Fleet of the Interstellar Machine Clan, because the normal T-5 star shield was light blue. And it was Xing Xuan who was watching the battle behind him. The words are clear. That is a T-6 class star shield. It is not difficult to transform this kind of flagship with the technology of the Interstellar Machinery Clan. Don't underestimate any branch of the Interstellar Clan. This was undoubtedly another lesson for Feng Mo. Since the decapitation plan failed, Feng Mo had only one option: a hard attack. Fortunately, he had prepared 10,000 T-5 class interstellar missiles in advance this time. T-5, Pegasus, launch the 4th and 5th rounds of missiles. Chapter 205. The Second Fleet is destroyed. This interstellar war is undoubtedly not profitable for Feng Mo. 10,000 T-5 interstellar missiles, as well as energy consumption, ammunition consumption, starship loss, depreciation, repairs, maintenance, etc. all require money. Originally, 6,000 T-5 interstellar missiles could solve the problem, but because the enemy flagship had a T-6 star shield, the decapitation mission failed, and Feng Mo had to launch all the remaining 4,000 T-5 interstellar missiles. T-5 Pegasus launched 2 consecutive rounds, and a total of 4,000 T-5 interstellar missiles were divided into 2 waves with tail flames and roared towards the Second Fleet of the Mechanical Clan. Faced with such an attack, Basil, who only had 1,000 mechanical warships left, fell into panic. If he was just an intelligent brain program, without emotions but only algorithms, Basil would find a glimmer of hope through calculations at this time, but he is not, he is life. The Interstellar Mechanical Clan has a relatively calm mind, but it is not a cold program. They also have joys, anger, sorrows, and joys, so they will also be swayed by emotions. Now Basil was controlled by his emotions. That was fear. He was afraid of death, and fear of death was his biggest flaw. After the T-6 star shield was shattered, Basil lost his sense of security, which made him miss the best time to retreat. Feng Mo took advantage of this opportunity. 4,000 T-5 interstellar missiles fell, and the Second Fleet had no place to resist. With the roar of the Paladin, 4 star destroyers were fired at the same time, directly smashing the enemy flagship to pieces. Next, it was time to clean up the battlefield. Xing Xuan behind Feng Mo showed a surprised look, and looked at Feng Mo with some strange eyes. Through the communication with Huaqian in the past few days, Xing Xuan had a lot of understanding of the Lord in front of him. For example, he was not only the Lord of the Storm Empire, but also the youngest starship design master of the Starsea Human Federation, and all the starships of the current Storm Fleet were designed and built by him. In short, this is a very talented Tangia Lord, whose qualifications are probably among the best even in the Star Empire. Of course, this is based on the premise that others do not know the Xinhuo system. 3 hours later, the battlefield was cleaned up. After Han Pei finished counting the data of this Star War, he returned to the Fengshan main control room to report to Feng Mo. Lord, in this Star War, our army lost 417 T-4 starships, with casualties as high as 200,000, and destroyed 2,070 enemy starships. In order to maintain friendly relations between various races in the interstellar, all interstellar mechanical people were killed, and the bodies were placed in a mechanical warship and sent to the Xinghai Human Federation for exhibition. As for those interstellar pirates, those who were confirmed dead have been sent to the main star of Shominga's feet, and those who are not dead have all been treated. There are more than 164,000 people in total. Feng Mo nodded after listening. There was no need to report the casualties in the previous few Star Wars because the casualties were too small, but the casualties this time were still very large. As many as 417 T-4 starships were destroyed, and the number of casualties was as high as 200,000. This should be the largest casualty since Feng Mo debuted. There is no way. Star Wars are so cruel, it's boring to watch. 2 fleets shooting at each other. But in fact, When each starship is destroyed, most of the crew members inside will die, only a few can survive, and those who survive are also missing limbs and covered with wounds. Pipe, you are responsible for supervising the death pension personally, and it must be issued according to the standards of the Feng Mo Empire. Yes, Lord. Han Pipe responded. Feng Mo turned to look at Xing Xuan and asked, are there any galaxy jump ships in the Star Empire? Xing Xuan was obviously stunned for a moment, then came to her senses and said, yes, but because the construction specifications of high-level interstellar jump ships are very high and require a lot of precious raw materials, the Star Empire only has one T7 level interstellar jump ship that can cross the star field. It is said that there are more advanced T8 level interstellar jump ships in the ancestral vein of the star spirits, but I have never seen them. After hearing this, Feng Mo understood that the Star Empire is a T7 level force, that is, a level 7 civilization, and the ancestral land of the star spirits is likely to be a level 8 civilization or even a level 9 civilization. Follow me. Feng Mo left as soon as he said, and asked Han Pipe to cooperate with Hu Akin to temporarily command the fleet. The Fengshan returned all the way to the main star of Hurricane, and took Xing Xuan to the storage room of the main star, and saw Elisa eating bread. At this time, Elisa's little face was 2 circles thinner, and she sat on the ground like this, with a huge holographic screen in front of her, and Elisa kept operating it. Feng Mo's eyes flashed with distress. Recently, the burden he added to Elisa was really too much. In addition, Elisa was a fan of starships. Generally, she would study the design drawings day and night. The interstellar jump ship is a very difficult starship to understand, because many of the raw materials and construction technologies used in this starship are not used by them before. And even some rare raw materials are not even heard of by Feng Mo. He has asked Chu, Hu, and Qi out to find these raw materials. If he wants to build this starship, the Storm Empire is still a little short of the foundation, and some external help is needed. Of course, after this starship is built, Feng Mo will not let it appear in the world in a short time, but keep it for use at a critical moment. This is a big killer, especially with 4 T5 Xoaniao and 2 T5 Pegasus. It can play a combination. With this interstellar jump ship, facing the general T5 fleet, it only depends on whether the ammunition is sufficient to destroy it. Feng Mo also has a plan in mind. This interstellar jump ship is related to whether he can take down the Young Empire and the Yushuang Empire, complete the main mission, and obtain the technology of the T6 flagship. Under the chain reaction, whether this interstellar jump ship can be built is very important. The reason why Xing Xuan agreed to come together is because she had seen an interstellar jump ship before. After comprehensive consideration, she might be able to give herself or Elisa some inspiration and suggestions. When Xing Xuan saw the design drawings of the T5 Jillian class interstellar jump ship, she was already stunned. Is this man a monster? He independently designed all the starships of the entire fleet, including star destroyers, missile ships, stealth bombers, jump ships, biological starships and other special starships. All of the above were designed by one person. How could there be such a genius? And his creation has no bottleneck period, and it has been rising. It's terrible. Xing Xuan knows the difficulty of designing a starship. That forces a starship design department. The top geniuses of millions and tens of millions of people have a big collision of inspiration to design a starship with good performance. The Lord in front of him designed and built all his starships independently. He is really scary. We must make friends with him in the future, not enemies. If we make enemies, we must get rid of him as soon as possible. Xing Xuan is already thinking about whether to fulfill her previous promise, such as marrying him. Chapter 206 Watching the fire from the other side. While Feng Mo, Elisa and Xing Xuan were diving into the storage room to study the interstellar jump ship, the entire Star Sea Human Federation was in turmoil. The Pan-Human Alliance publicly issued an announcement stating that it would establish diplomatic relations with the interstellar machine race. This announcement immediately caused the remaining 10 empires of the Star Sea Human Federation to boil. Even the Frost and Snow Human Alliance issued an announcement reprimanding the Pan-Human Alliance. It turned out that the real rape was not in the west but in the east. For a time, People were furious and clamored for the major Federation empires to send troops to crush the Pan-Human Alliance and so on. Feng Mo, on the other hand, watched this matter coldly. It was not that he had no sense of belonging to the Star-Sea-Human Federation, but that he could not rush this matter. The Pan-Human Alliance only issued an announcement and did not send troops. Moreover, the current southern battlefield is like a meat grinder. A large number of starships are destroyed every day, and the daily casualties never fall below 5 digits. Moreover, the Federal Fleet is still confronting the fleets of the Frost and Snow Human Alliance. What the Federation needs most at this time is to rest, not to force a war. Just after the Pan-Human Alliance made the announcement, the Star-Sea-Human Federation, the Northern Theater and the Central Theater all issued announcements that they would build 3 interstellar fortresses at the border with the Eastern Theater and dispatch T-5 fleets to garrison them. This is to completely isolate the entire Eastern Theater. Feng Mo knows that this is also the Federation has no choice. It is indeed difficult to open up the 3 major battlefields with only the Northern, Central and Southern Theaters. Perhaps with the support of national justice, the Frost and Snow Human Alliance withdrew all the fleets from the front line, thus completely liberating the 2 T-5 fleets of the Federation, so that the Star-Sea-Human Federation can safely open up the eastern and southern battlefields. No, Mo, this is the situation. The current Federation is not peaceful, and is even just one step away from falling apart, so you have to be careful. The 3 major fleets of the Yunshan Empire, the Lion King, Yunshan, and Mo Yu, are in the south. In the war zone, one team is in the eastern war zone, and the other team guards the Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress, and it is difficult to support the Storm Empire. I understand, Uncle Gu. I will be careful myself. The person who called in the video was Gu Jun. Ever since the Pan-Human Alliance issued the announcement, there had been an uproar. The Frost and Snow Human Alliance had withdrawn its fleet to the main star, and then stayed there, in order to allow the Federation to deal with external threats first. No matter how much internal divisions occur, there will be no turn for traitors to commit crimes outside. Obviously, the Federation also acquiesces to this rule and just asked Gu Jun to send a video to Feng Mo to ask the Storm Fleet to closely monitor the actions of Yun Empire and Yushuang Empire. You can send troops immediately if something goes wrong. Of course Feng Mo agreed. Gu Jun kept telling him to be careful before hanging up the video. Now all the fleets of the 10 major empires of the Federation and the 2 major fleets of the Federation are all moving. There are 4 T-5 fleets stationed in the Xuanwu Star Fortress. 14 fleets have been assembled in the Southern Theater to confront the Interstellar Machinery Clan. The 2 major fleets of the Federation and the guard fleets of the 10 major empires have also been dispatched to the eastern battlefield. At this moment, the entire Star-Sea-Human Federation was completely empty, and all fleets were gathered on the battlefield. If Feng Mo could be given 5 T-5 fleets at this time, he would be sure to directly overwhelm the entire Star-Sea-Human Federation. Unfortunately, he could only think about it. Although the Storm Fleet did not participate, Feng Mo was not idle and dispersed all 4 T-5 Blackbirds. One was in the Saiyan Galaxy, one was in the Yun Empire, one was in the Yushuang Empire, and the last one was in the Yushuang Empire, Apocalypse Empire. Feng Mo had a feeling, especially for the Tanki Yuezi, that he was always uneasy. This family had too many secret actions and was too abnormal. That's why a T-5 Blackbird was sent to the Apocalypse Galaxy to monitor the Apocalypse Yushi. After dispersing the 4 T-5 Blackbirds, Feng Mo received feedback from the T-5 Blackbirds every month. More than half a year passed slowly, and nothing happened. Feng Mo, Alyssa and Xing Xuan used this time to successfully build the T-5 Jiwai-class interstellar jump ship. During this period, Xing Xuan gave a lot of opinions to the 2 of them, some of which opened Feng Mo and Alyssa's eyes. Human thinking has limitations, and Xing Xuan had actually seen the physical jump ship, and it was a T-7 level 1, so her opinions are very open-minded. In the past 6 months, the Starship Technology Department has not reduced the production of T-5 starships, and has produced 2 batches of T-5 starships to supplement the insufficient number of starships in Storm Fleet. The number of combat starships in the Storm Fleet was increased to more than 100, and it was upgraded from a micro-fleet to a small fleet. Among them, there were originally only 10 T5 Wolf Kings, which were supplemented to 20, T5 Stegosaurus, which was supplemented to 60, and T5 Blackbird, which was supplemented to 10. Feng Mo spent a lot of money and expanded the T5 Pegasus to 5 ships, a total of 5 ships. A salvo of this type of strategic starship was more expensive than a T5 starship. But it was worth it. No matter what the Star Coin issue was, Feng Mo was bound to expand the Storm Fleet. No one could oppose him. Facts have proved that there is no way to refute Feng Mo. On the contrary, everyone is gearing up. The expansion of the fleet means that the demand for captain positions is much greater. The Storm Fleet used to be small, and many old people were still crew members after working for nearly 10 years. In fact, they have enough professional knowledge and practical experience to be captains. This expansion also meant to create additional positions. Regarding the expansion of the fleet, Feng Mo insisted on doing it with both hands. This wave of expansion directly invested all the remaining loot from the second fleet of the annihilated machine race, which was not enough. But he didn't care. Because of the unrest in the Federation, several starships sold by Fenian Starship Trading Company run by Chu Yunjian were very popular. Even one ship was hard to find, and Feng Mo asked Chu Yunjian to launch the T4 starship under this situation, and carried out hunger marketing, such as selling only 10 ships a year, and asking people to pay a deposit first, etc. The Fenian Starship Trading Company alone made a lot of money for a group of people. However, this was not enough, but the life-devouring ancient tree was very proud of the result. 9 of them were not auctioned this time, but all were digested privately, earning $900 million. Even those who could buy it were a little embarrassed, afraid of paying too little, but Feng Mo said that it was the auction price, and offline transactions would definitely be reduced. In this way, Feng Mo's reputation for being honest spread in the small circle again, and he became more popular, especially in the top small circles. A person who provides life spent steadily will not make people feel disgusted. More than half a year has passed. Looking at the brand new Storm Fleet, Feng Mo's heart was a little agitated, but now the Federation is using troops abroad. Feng Mo can't provoke a civil war again, so he can only make trouble for the interstellar mechanical clan. Chen Wei once said that the Chaos Star Sea was the layout of the interstellar mechanical race, and 3 fleets were sent here for this purpose. The second fleet of the mechanical race was completely wiped out by the Storm Fleet, and the third fleet of the mechanical race was also destroyed by Feng Mo. A family must be complete, and the first fleet of the mechanical race cannot be missing. Chapter 207 The Movement of the First Fleet. In order to find the location of the first fleet of the mechanical race, Feng Mo specially dispatched 5 newly built T5 Blackbirds, starting from the Sayalon galaxy, and combined with the information Chen Wei said, to search further away. Searched on Google with news that the second and third fleets of the mechanical clan had been completely wiped out has spread throughout the Star Sea Human Federation. It is impossible for the interstellar mechanical clan not to receive the news, so what Feng Mo has to do is to strengthen the defense internally and look for the first fleet externally. Time passed slowly, and finally, 7 days later, T5 Blackbird sent back a video. The video recorded a reef galaxy, a fleet of mechanical clans surrounding a huge planet, and many mechanical clansmen surrounding the surface of the planet. A towering old tree stood in a daze. I finally found you. Is this what the interstellar machine tribe wants to do by sending 3 T5 fleets to the Sea of Chaotic Stars at once? Feng Mo sent a screenshot of this towering ancient tree to Professor Wu, and received a reply soon. Professor Wu said that he had never seen this type of interstellar plant before, and asked Feng Mo where he saw it. Feng Mo said that it was deep in the Sea of Chaotic Stars, and after retrieving it, he asked Professor Wu to come and identify it. After making an appointment with Professor Wu, Feng Mo said to Han Pei, who had been standing behind him, "Let Ao command the Orca, 1 T5 Pegasus, 2 T5 Blackbirds, 10 T5 Wolf Kings, 20 T5 Stegosaurus Sha Ujia, and the remaining starships of the Storm Fleet will accompany me on the expedition to the first fleet of the mechanical race." Feng Mo brought almost 3/4 of the entire storm fleet with him on this expedition, including 8 T-5 Blackbirds, 4 T-5 Pegasus and 1 Paladin. With these 3 types of starships alone, under the coverage of a round of artillery fire, the entire Starsea Human Federation, as long as there is no T-6 starship fleet, can be pushed back by the storm fleet alone. Of course, raising so many special starships would put too much pressure on the Storm Empire's finances and raw materials. Besides, except for the Snow Eagle Galaxy, there are no places in other galaxies that produce T5 raw materials. This resulted in a serious shortage of T5 raw material reserves in his hands. Fortunately, there was external help. Otherwise even the Storm Empire would not have enough raw materials to build interstellar missiles. It is no exaggeration to say that the entire Empire of Storms currently only has more than 50,000 T-5 interstellar missiles of all types. What is the concept? A salvo of 10 T-5 Blackbirds and 5 T-5 Pegasus will consume 10,000. 9. That is, something that 3 volleys cannot do. When raw materials are sufficient, construction also takes time. In the early morning of the next day, Feng Mo arrived at Snow Eagle Starport early. During this expedition, he directly carried 40,000 T-5 class interstellar missiles at one time, and almost emptied the inventory. It seemed that he still had to continue to supervise Alyssa and not just ignore it. Build starships, not missiles. He and Shang Xuan had been fighting fiercely in recent days, but Feng Mo always kept a certain distance from her intentionally or unintentionally. Although they had a good conversation, Feng Mo was particularly afraid of her talent. It was obvious that Shang Xuan also noticed it and reduced his probing of Feng Mo. This made Feng Mo relieved. However, Feng Mo still got a lot of useful information in the past few days of contact with Shang Xuan. For example, there is information about the towering ancient tree. It is a T6 level starseed called the humanoid tree. Its effects are somewhat mysterious and it is of great use to the interstellar machine race. When the humanoid tree matures, it will turn into a handful of Lois, but the heart of the tree has been preserved. The retained tree heart is in human form, and then through the special technology of the interstellar mechanical clan, consciousness is transferred into the tree heart, placed next to the energy block and nutrient solution, and it will slowly turn into a real human being. It's very sci-fi, right? But it is indeed the treasure that the interstellar machine race is chasing and looking forward to. This kind of humanoid tree is very precious. Often, a T6 level interstellar race can sell for at least 10 billion star coins when sold to the interstellar machinery race. It is no wonder that after the interstellar machinery race got the news, they sent 3 T-5 fleets to look for it. After Feng Mo learned the information about this towering ancient tree, he also sighed that the universe is so vast and full of wonders. This tree reminded him of the treasure that reshaped the body in the novels of his previous life, and it seemed to have the same purpose. Feng Mo specially brought the T-5 JY class jump ship on this expedition. He wanted to try out the function of this starship, and happened to know the coordinates of the enemy fleet through the feedback of the T-5 Blackbird. The fleet assembled at the Snow Eagle starport and did not enter warp sailing mode. Instead, it sailed to the universe not far from the starport. Lord, the test of the T-5 JY class interstellar jump ship has been completed. The interstellar space is normal. The interstellar coordinates are normal. The starship's core energy cabin is normal, and interstellar jumps can be carried out at any time. Han Pai stood behind Feng Mo to report. Feng Mo looked at an orc captain on the other end of the video and ordered, "Open the door to interstellar jump," and the storm fleet is preparing to make an interstellar jump. As soon as he finished speaking, a huge energy matrix instantly appeared on the hull of the T-5 JY class interstellar jump ship, and at the same time it shot out streaks of bright blue light, forming a huge stargate in the starry sky. Then the energy matrix on the Jialiang's hull gradually disappeared, but the stargate in the universe did not disappear. This was the interstellar microjump gate formed by the T-5 Jialiang class interstellar jump ship. Lord, the stargate can only exist for 30 minutes. Han Pai from behind reminded him. Let's go. Feng Mo gave an order, and each starship passed through the interstellar micro-jump gate and disappeared completely. After the last starship passed through the jump gate, the stargate existed for about 15 minutes, and then turned into little bits of energy and completely dissipated in the starry sky of the universe. In an unknown reef galaxy, a fleet appeared out of thin air in the universe. The fleet was not large, with only more than 100 starships. It was the storm fleet that was teleported through the jump gate. When the storm fleet entered the jump gate, the fleet felt the same as entering a regular stargate. After a short period of weightlessness, the teleportation was completed. Feng Mo was very satisfied with this expedition. He looked at the Jillian on the radar image and couldn't help laughing, as if a child had obtained a fun toy. However, the consumption was still quite a lot. It would consume about half of the energy blocks in the T5 level interstellar supply ship once for teleportation. However, Feng Mo could afford it. He was not short of star coins. He was poor because he lacked resources and foundation. Feng Mo did not let the fleet teleport directly to the enemy's head because the distance was not enough. This was already the farthest distance. The following was to test whether the tactics imagined in Feng Mo's mind could be realized. Wind God, Paladin, T5 Wolf King, T5 Stegosaurus Lord, T5 Cluster Star Destroyer, main and secondary guns ready to charge, T5 Pegasus, Interstellar Missile Group ready, T5 Blackbird free to move. Feng Mo gave an order and the various starships of the Storm Fleet flashed with various dazzling lights. At this time, Feng Mo continued to issue the second order. Jillian, open the interstellar jump gate, and the Storm Fleet enters the jump gate. Chapter 208, Surprise. Reef Galaxy. An old, gray, huge planet will go through 3 stages when a star ages. The white dwarf stage is when the star expands into a red giant, while the black dwarf stage represents death. However, this planet is not in the shape of a cold corpse. Instead, an unknown species has devoured all the energy inside the planet, which is similar to the plunder of the interstellar Zerg. At this time, the dying planet was surrounded by a large number of mechanical battleships. There were nearly 2,000 of them, of which the T5 class mechanical battleships accounted for at least a quarter. This first fleet of the mechanical race was more than the second and third fleets that Feng Mo faced before were much stronger. In the main control room of the flagship of the first fleet of the machine race, Commander Xiumen was roaring angrily. Both of his brothers were killed by Feng Mo. One was caught in Feng Mo's trick, and the other was wiped out along with the fleet by Feng Mo. The 2 Star Wars videos are now constantly being played in the main control room. They are still Star Wars videos from the perspective of the mechanical family flagship. Xiumen can clearly feel the battle between the Third Fleet and the Storm Fleet and the battle between the Second Fleet and the Storm Fleet. The difference. In the first battle, the Storm Fleet had no ability to compete with the Third Fleet of the mechanical race. However, in just 2 years, it independently designed a T5 fleet and already had the strength to completely annihilate the Second Fleet of the mechanical race. This young man is too terrifying. If he is allowed to grow any longer, their tribe may be in danger. Thinking of this, Xiumen uploaded these 2 videos and his own inferences to the Machine Clan Intelligent Brain database, and added a red mark after Feng Mo's name, which meant that this person was the enemy of the Interstellar Machine Clan and that all outsiders could. The mechanical tribesmen will kill them as soon as possible whenever they encounter them. After getting everything done, Xiumen looked at the image inside the planet in front of him. At this time, the trunk of the towering tree was becoming more and more human-like. This was a sign of maturity. Xiumen murmured to himself, "Come on, come on. Wait until my brother dedicates this treasure to the ancestral land, obtains T6 level technology, builds a T6 fleet, leads the fleet to flatten the entire Star Sea Human Federation, and personally kills Feng Mo to avenge you." At this moment, a violent electronic sound sounded, awakening Xiumen, who was immersed in his imagination. Alert! The radar scans a large number of starships appearing in the sky above the left side of the fleet. The star shield automatically turns on the maximum power, and the close-range rapid-fire cannons conduct an interception attack. The siren had just ended, and the entire fleet, including the planet, seemed to be in a sea of fire. Huge explosions, Roars of artillery fire, and the shattering of mechanical battleships came one after another. The bombing in an instant stunned Xiumen. The green dots representing one's own fleets on the mechanical flagship's radar are rapidly becoming dim. As time goes by, nearly 2,000 green dots have all become extremely gray. It wasn't until Xiumen saw the starry sky outside the battleship that he realized that his life had come to an end. At the same time, he thought of a starship he had seen before, the interstellar jump ship. After Feng Mo gave the order to enter the jump gate, the storm fleet entered one after another. As the feeling of weightlessness ended, Feng Mo immediately issued the combat order. Radar scans the enemy fleet, T5 cluster star destroyer cannon, main and secondary gun salvos, interstellar missile groups aim at the target fleet, saturation strike, mellow, I leave the finishing touches to you. Yes, the captains responded, and then the 5 clustered star destroyer cannons that had already been charged roared. 5 brown light beams directly shattered the star shields of the 5 T5 class mechanical battleships, and the trend continued unabated. Pierce the mechanical battleship, triggering a secondary explosion. Not to be outdone, the rest of the main and secondary guns weaved into firepower nets, enveloping all the enemy warships below. The large number of mechanical warships covered by the firepower nets were directly exploded. Then more than 10,000 T5 level interstellar missiles all fell. It was not easy for the enemy to open the star shield in a short time, let alone intercept it with a close-range anti-rapid cannon. When the T5 level interstellar missiles fell, the close-in anti-rapid cannon just fired. But it was too late. A large number of starships were blown to pieces and ignited into raging fires. The entire first fleet of the mechanical race below seemed to be in a sea of fire. They had no idea that the storm fleet could appear directly above them. This is the scary thing about the interstellar jump ship. You are eating hot pot, and I throw a grenade on your head. You don't react until the grenade is about to explode. Sorry, it's too late. This is how the interstellar mechanical tribe felt at this time. Xiumen was guarding this humanoid tree, which was about to mature, and was waiting for him to harvest it. Unexpectedly, the entire fleet was directly wiped out by the storm fleet. Xiumen returned it before he died. He was confused about how the storm fleet appeared until he remembered a star jump ship he had seen. It has to be said that the interstellar mechanical tribe has a grudge against Modu. In the past 3 or 4 years, he has wiped out 3 T5 fleets one after another, directly annihilating all the maneuvering power available to the interstellar mechanical tribe. The Star-Sea-Human Federation will not send him even the pennant cannot be justified. At this time, on the lower right side of the storm fleet, round balls of fire are burning continuously. Unlike the planet ground, there is oxygen inside the starship and the universe, so the flames can burn, but not in the shape of a flame, but in a round shape. As the oxygen slowly fades, the flame will gradually die out. After a salvo of fire from the storm fleet, most of the starships of the first fleet of the mechanical race were directly destroyed. A few of them simply lay down on their nests, and the remaining ones that were still able to move were targeted by 8 T5 blackbirds and destroyed one by one. At this time, the overall situation has been determined. In fact, when Feng Mo uses the interstellar jump ship, there is no need to guess who will win this star war. This is a complete dimensionality reduction attack. Please watch a free fireworks. This time, the interstellar jump ship is used to transmit the fleet. Next, Feng Mo will continue to test whether the interstellar jump ship can be used to transmit bombs that are about to explode, or weapons such as laser cannons. After all, practice is the standard of truth. Pipe, send this Star War video back to the command center and let them set a perfect jump position. This jump is too close to the enemy fleet. I see that some starships have suffered the aftermath of the explosion of the enemy fleet, and the star shield energy has been lost a lot. These are all star coins. If you don't manage the family, you don't know how expensive money is. You should save and spend. There was a big mistake in this transmission, and it needs to be strengthened in the future. Han Pei's mouth twitched slightly after hearing this. The Lord is good in everything, but he is a little stingy. He makes the captains under his command look like bandits and pirates. But what the Lord said is right. We need to ask the headquarters to come up with the best plan when we go back. This teleportation is somewhat lucky. If we really jump to the coordinates of the mechanical clan's first fleet and the fleet is close to us, then opening fire will be no different from shooting ourselves. Chapter 209. Surprising or not, Star Wars lasted half an hour, and it took more than 4 hours to clean the battlefield. Feng Mo looked at the human-shaped tree in front of him and felt a little worried. Do we still have to wait here for it to mature? Xing Xuan, who was standing behind Feng Mo, felt Feng Mo's confusion, so he said, Lord, this humanoid tree can be moved, but the commander of the mechanical tribe may have thought it was about to mature, so he did not move it. At present, it seems that this humanoid tree will mature in half a month at most. After hearing this, Feng Mo nodded and said to Han Pei behind him, get on the machine, shovel it and bring it back to the Beast Cry Galaxy for planting. Han Pei covered her forehead slightly after hearing this. She knew that the Lord would say this. After cleaning the battlefield, Feng Mo returned to the Fengshan main control room again, with Han Pei reporting behind him. Lord, this Star Wars will completely wipe out 1,974 enemy mechanical warships, including 632 T5 class mechanical warships. Feng Mo nodded after hearing this, and then said to the captain of the Jillian, prepare to jump back. Lord, the interstellar space is normal, the interstellar coordinates are safe, the core kinetic energy of the starship is normal, the Jillian test is completed, and interstellar jumps can be made at any time. The door to interstellar jump is opening. It was still the shocking scene. A huge energy matrix instantly appeared on the Jillian hull, shooting out streams of bright blue light, forming a huge stargate in the universe. Let's go. Feng Mo gave an order, and each starship passed through the interstellar micro-jump gate and disappeared completely. There were 2 interstellar jumps to be made on the way back. Feng Mo deliberately did not let the Jillian start the second jump immediately after completing the first jump, but waited for more than 10 minutes. This is good for the Jillian. Although interstellar jump has no cooling time, frequent use will have a great impact on the life of the Jillian. Feng Mo only has this jump ship now, so it is naturally very precious. After returning to the Snow Eagle main star, Feng Mo logged into the Star Network space and looked at the multiple videos he had uploaded. He was confused whether to continue uploading the video of today's annihilation of the first fleet of the mechanical race using an interstellar jump ship. In the end, he gritted his teeth and transmitted it to the Star Network space. Feng Mo was now in a position of success and was not afraid of any threat from the Federation. Moreover, Feng Mo guessed that the Federation was most likely to win over him rather than threaten him. And since Feng Mo dares to spread the news that he has designed an interstellar jump ship, he has a way to deal with this kind of starship. There is a very cheap technology in Xinhua called space interception technology, which sells for only 10,000 points. Of course Feng Mo can't afford it now. You have to wait until the next mission is completed before you can buy it. This space interception technology can be made into a space interception device, which is similar to the way from the Bishanman space war to Xoanwu fortress that is full of warp interceptors. Of course, this technology is only at T5 level, but there are also T6 and even T9 levels, but you need to buy it, or you can research it yourself. Of course, we don't know when it will be researched. Feng Mo has made up his mind to purchase this technology as soon as possible after completing the next mission. Even if he gives the Federation interstellar jump technology, he will not directly give the design drawings, but will give the technology to wait until the Federation builds the interstellar jump ship. It will take more than a year at the earliest. After more than a year, it couldn't be easier to exchange a T5 level space interception technology and then make a large number of space interception devices. As expected, it was midnight on Snow Eagle Prime when Feng Mo uploaded the video. Once the video was uploaded, it immediately caused a sensation in the entire Star Sea Human Federation. Feng Mo's smart terminal was directly blown up. He was well prepared and asked Zhao Wei to block all contacts. Then he sat in the office and dialed the videos of Chu Yunjian, Hua Yukin, Kiao family head, and Gu Jun. P.S. There is definitely a time difference between different planets, and every day cannot be 24 hours a day. For the convenience of writing, The default here is 24 hours a day, without any time difference. Even though it was midnight, the four of them were all awakened by Feng Mo's video. Currently, they were all neatly dressed and sitting in front of the video. Only Chu Yunjian's background was the main control room of the starship. Feng Mo didn't have to think about it. I knew she was coming to Snow Eagle Prime. Uncle, Gu, Patriarch Kiao, Yunjian, Yu Cheng, I believe you all know that I developed the interstellar jump technology and used this technology to build the Federation's first T5 class interstellar jump ship. My idea is to make this technology public, but to prevent the Anti-Humanity Alliance and the Frost and Snow Human Alliance from stealing the technology, I decided not to make it public for the time being. I will pass this technology to the four of you in the Federation Starlater Ship Design Department. Each company will be issued a copy. Rest assured it is the core uncensored kind. At this time, the four of them were shocked by Feng Mo's words and couldn't manage their facial expressions. Only Chu Yunjian looked at his lover lovingly. He had heard from Mao before that he had found another plus-size beauty. Originally, Chu Yunjian was still. I thought that when I went to Feng Mo this time, I would give him a harsh lesson. But now looking at Feng Mo's performance, she decided that it would be better to exchange lessons for rewards. Remember that Feng Mo wanted to play waterfall pose and stairway to heaven before, but she didn't agree, so why not agree tonight? Thinking of this, Chu Yunjian's face turned slightly red. At this time, the Kiao family leader was the calmest and took the lead in saying, "Lord, the Storm Empire is prospering under your leadership." Although the Kiao family is the top family in the Apocalypse Empire, it cannot control the situation of the Apocalypse Empire. If you are interested, the Kiao family is willing to be a thorn in your side in the Apocalypse Empire, or you can order the Kiao family to move to the Storm Empire at any time. I am willing to donate 2/3 of the Kiao family's property to support the Storm Empire. These were words of loyalty. The master of the Kiao family said them with great emotion and sonorous force. After thinking for a moment, Feng Mo said, "I think it is better for the Kiao family to be in the Apocalypse Empire. This will also be conducive to the future expansion of the Storm Empire." For some reason, Feng Mo always has some natural resistance to the Apocalypse USE and has no good impressions of them. Once the Kiao family withdraws from the Apocalypse Empire, the USE will become the dominant one. This is not a good phenomenon, and Feng Mo does not allow himself to do this. Although the Kiao family's relocation will greatly increase the national power of the Storm Empire in a short period of time. With the head of the Kiao family taking the lead, and Hu Yakun doing the same, they basically surrendered to Feng Mo, but Feng Mo temporarily refused their proposed relocation. The Hua family is now in alliance with the Chu family, and there is no need to move at all. It is best for the two families to work together. It would be nice to be able to fully control the Glory Empire. Now that he has achieved great success, the Storm Empire is powerful, but the number of fleets is not large. Otherwise no empire can compete with the Storm Empire. The reason is that Feng Mo has too many special starships in his hands. This is the biggest reason why the Storm Fleet is able to dominate the Star Sea Human Federation. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 210 Pan-Human Alliance joins the war. Mo, thank you on behalf of the Yunshan Empire and the Xinghai Human Federation. The content of Gu Jun's words is worth thinking about. He put the Yunshan Empire first because he is the supreme commander of the Yunshan fleet. Gu Jun has deep feelings for the Yunshan Empire. If this technology is given to Gu Jun, it will definitely be shared with the Yunshan Empire and Gu Jun. The second one mentioned the Federation, which shows that Gu Jun does not have much affection for the Federation. It can also be said whether the Star Sea Human Federation would disintegrate. He didn't care. Feng Mo also knew that Gu Jun would hand over the technology to the Yunshan Empire, which he also tacitly agreed to. Speaker Norai helped Feng Mo many times and charged into battle for Feng Mo. Feng Mo never gave anything in return. It was just a piece of technology that could be worth the price. Feng Mo still earned most of the favors, but the favors were the most difficult to repay. Feng Mo's move also has an extended meaning, that is, he was born in the Yunshan Empire and the Star Sea Human Federation. He was educated since childhood to be loyal to the Empire and the Federation. This technology can be regarded as saying goodbye to the Federation and the Empire. Nowadays, the situation is changing strangely. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that the entire Star Sea Human Federation is not far away from falling apart. At that time, it will inevitably enter the stage of competition among major forces for hegemony. Feng Mo is no exception and wants to compete. Feng Mo's move of uploading the video not only stimulated the entire Star Sea Human Federation, but also stimulated the interstellar mechanical clan, causing the Southern Theater to suffer even more fierce attacks from the interstellar mechanical clan. However, the major empires were not indifferent. They quickly organized fleets to fight back. The two sides fought back and forth, causing damage to each other. At noon the next day, Feng Mo was still lying in the gentle countryside. Last night in Chu Yunjian, Alan Kai Lan worked too hard, which made him, a third-level genetic warrior, feel a little overwhelmed. After getting up, she dressed neatly under the care of the three women. When she walked out of the room, she saw Han Pei waiting at the door of the office. When she saw Feng Mo approaching, she quickly stepped forward and said, "Lord, the Pan-Human Federation announced an offensive and defensive alliance with the interstellar machine race at 8 o'clock this morning. At the same time, it sent troops to attack the Star Sea Human Federation. It is currently fighting with the Central War Zone at the galaxy border. Both sides are hurting each other." Feng Mo was slightly startled after hearing this. To be honest, Feng Mo was not surprised by the establishment of the Pan-Human Alliance. Both humans and humanoids have human characteristics, and there is nothing uncomfortable living together. This laid the foundation for the establishment of the Pan-Human Alliance. But Feng Mo never thought that the Pan-Human Alliance could form an alliance with the interstellar mechanical race, let alone that it could turn its guns and send troops to the Star Sea Human Federation. Feng Mo didn't know the reason, but he knew that he shouldn't do this. It doesn't matter who is right or wrong, but you simply shouldn't do this. When you reach a certain level of strength, you can swallow up the Star Sea Human Federation, but you are not going to attack the Federation together with the aliens. This is Feng Mo's principle. Although he wants to kill more people than those big guys, Feng Mo has more friendship and less indifference than them. Of course, the person in power doesn't just come over in a sea of corpses. Indifference, composure, and calmness are the basic requirements. Those with opposite personalities are basically dead, unless you are the chosen protagonist. Otherwise you are impulsive, irritable, and brainless. Holy mother bitch, it's unreasonable for such a person to survive. At this time, Feng Mo's smart terminal rang a pleasant ringtone, which was Gujun's video communication request. Feng Mo understood clearly. It seemed that the pressure on the Federation was greater than he imagined. After the video was connected, Gujun also said straight to the point, "Dao Mo, the situation in the Eastern Theater is not optimistic. The Federation wants to borrow your storm fleet for a trip. All ammunition supply expenses will be borne by the Federation. And if you annihilate a T5 fleet, you will get a reward. You can go to the treasury of the Star Sea Human Federation and choose for yourself." Just after Gujun finished speaking, the temporary missions on the Xinhuo mission panel, which had been silent for a long time, were finally updated. The last time Feng Mo set out to annihilate the first fleet of the mechanical race, there were no missions. Unexpectedly, there were temporary missions this time. Temporary mission: annihilate 3 T5 level Pan-Human Alliance fleets. Reward: T5 Shanghai level battle planet design drawings. After seeing the mission given by the Xinhuo system, Feng Mo calmed down on the surface and continued talking to Gu Jun, but in fact he was still a little excited inside. The T5 level battle star was a weapon as big as a Big Mac. It can turn the entire planet into a weapon, similar to the mobile fortress. The Star Destroyer cannon it is equipped with is the most powerful 3-speed Star Destroyer cannon, a black hole level Star Destroyer cannon. Uncle Gu Jun, please tell the Federation that I will only take action 3 times. Just tell me the interstellar locations of the 3 most difficult T5 fleets. Jun was also very happy to hear that Feng Mo was willing to take action, because if it continued like this, it would be very easy to bring down the Federation, and it would also be easy to bring down the fleets of their major empires. In the past, the three-front war was fought because of the 17 major empires. Now, only the 10 major empires are fighting on the third front. The remaining 7 empires have betrayed the Federation. One is declining, the other is increasing, and the foreign forces are getting stronger. The Federation cannot hold on for long. So after seeing that the Storm Fleet had an interstellar jump ship, the Federation agreed to ask Feng Mo to take action at the cost of opening the treasure trove for Feng Mo to choose from. Strictly speaking, the Empire of Storms does not have a deep connection with the Federation. It is an empire that belongs entirely to Feng Mo. It has no parliament and the Federation has no way to deal with the Empire of Storms. All its senior officials have risen from the bottom just like Feng Mo. Follow Feng Mo all the way here. They all have lofty ideals and want to see a broader world. Maybe they will betray, become independent, etc. in the future, but not now, because Feng Mo said that he wants to take them to see the world outside the Star-Sea Human Federation. Look at how powerful those level 7 and level 8 civilizations are. In a dark office, a silver-haired old man sat on a chair. He was dressed meticulously on his upper body, but his lower body was naked. In front of the old man was a very large desk with an exaggerated hollow in the middle. 4 people were squatting inside. A beautiful Catwoman. They are serving the old man. Sitting opposite the silver-haired old man was a middle-aged man, well-dressed. His slightly lowered eyes flashed with envy from time to time, and then returned to his serious look. Sir, Speaker, Councillor Gu Jun has asked Councillor Feng Mo to take action 3 times. With the strength of the T5 class interstellar jump ship and the Storm Fleet, it is easy to annihilate 3 enemy T5 fleets. The emergency situation in the Eastern Theater can also be alleviated. The silver-haired old man snorted softly after hearing this, and then sighed. The 17 empires of the Star-Sea Human Federation have maintained this superficial balance for thousands of years. Now it has been completely broken. It is not far from falling apart. This decadent federation is finally coming to an end. C. King, order the C family starship engineers to thoroughly understand the jump technology handed over by Feng Mo as soon as possible. Prioritize the construction of interstellar jump ships, equip the C family fleet, and then equip the 2 T5 fleets under the Federation. Chapter 211 Storm Sailing. Early the next morning, in the main control room of the Fengtian, Feng Mo was sitting on the captain's chair, with Han Peipei and Xing Xuan standing behind him. Ever since Feng Mo built the interstellar jump ship, Xing Xuan's attitude towards him has become even more ambiguous. She not only teases Feng Mao mainly, but also gives Feng Mo some physical contact from time to time. This makes Ao miserable. Whenever he couldn't bear it anymore, he would always radiate his anger on Ao. The Storm Fleet is about to enter the 5th level intelligent co-frequency warp sailing mode. Please enter the deep sea mode for the 2nd level and lower genetic warriors. Han Peipei's voice appeared in the entire Storm Fleet main control room. This time they went to the Eastern Theater and the entire Storm Fleet was dispatched. Feng Mo did not choose to divide his troops to garrison the Snow Eagle Galaxy. The first is that this expedition to the Storm Empire is for righteousness, and the second is that the Federation, Yunshan Empire, and Huaiyao Empire are all watching. The Yushi will not act rashly if they do not want to be besieged by all forces. Of course, the most important thing is that with the interstellar jump ship, the Storm Fleet can return to the Snow Eagle Galaxy very quickly, so Feng Mo is not worried about the safety of the Snow Eagle Galaxy. The destination of the Storm Fleet's trip is the Reno Galaxy, the eastern edge galaxy of the Glory Empire. The Star-Sea Human Federation has built a large number of defenses here, and a mobile fortress is about to be completed. From this, it can be seen how afraid the Federation is of the Pan-Human Alliance. The power of the 5 Eastern Empires plus the interstellar orcs is no less powerful than the sum of all T5 starships in the Central Theater plus the Northern Theater. And losing the territory in the Eastern Theater will expose the Central Theater to the enemy's fleet. The Central Theater has not experienced war for a long time because it is protected by the other 4 theaters. Now that the Eastern Theater is rebelling, The east gate of the Central Theater is in vain, seriously threatening the safety of the two empires of the Federation and the Central Theater. So the Federation has spent a lot of money to invite the Storm Fleet to the battlefield. The fleet traveled all the way to the 5th level stargate of the Snow Eagle Galaxy. Within the entire Storm Empire's sphere of influence, only the stargates of the Hurricane Galaxy, Storm Galaxy, and Snow Eagle Galaxy had federal garrisons. The other stargates were independently built by the Storm Empire. Yes, the dispatched guard fleet is also responsible for the Imperial garrison fleet. Thinking of this, Feng Mo seemed to understand what conditions he was going to propose to the Federation this time. The Stargate Guardian fleet dispatched by the Federation was really annoying. After all, how could others be allowed to sleep beside their bed? How could the Storm Empire's sphere of influence be possible? Allow other fleets to guard the Stargate. After arriving at the Snow Eagle Stargate, the fleet did not rush into the Snow Eagle Stargate, but lined up honestly. After waiting for about half an hour, the fleet slowly sailed into the Snow Eagle Stargate. There was a feeling of weightlessness, and the fleet had arrived at the edge of the Glory Empire, the Reno Galaxy. This is a medium-sized galaxy. Now all the citizens of the entire galaxy have been moved by the Federation to live in the brilliant galaxy. Then the Star-Sea Human Federation transformed this galaxy into a war fortress. There are 10 space stations alone, and 2 of them are equipped with a large number of T5 level laser cannons. In front of the space station is a huge interstellar fortress. Although it is not as good as the Xuanwu interstellar fortress, it is not much worse. After the Storm Fleet arrived in the Reno system, it did not enter warp sailing mode, but sailed all the way to the interstellar fortress in regular sailing mode. Welcome, Lord Storm Lord, to King Long Interstellar Fortress. The route planning is completed. Please ask the Storm Fleet to dock at Starport number 1. A burst of electronic sound sounded in the main control room of the Storm Fleet. Feng Mo remembered that when he entered the Xuanwu Interstellar Fortress, he had to check his identity, plan a route, and finally give a warning. Now that my identity has changed, along with the arrival of various privileges, I don't need to follow many rules even when I come to a military base like the Star Fortress. After the Storm Fleet docked at Starport number 1, Feng Mo took Han Pai Pei and Shang Xuan off the Fengshan. After walking out of the beam, he saw Uncle Gu Jun leading a large number of officers to greet him. Feng Mo quickly stepped forward, hugged Gu Jun, and then said with a smile, "Uncle Gu Jun, how can I bother you to greet you personally? I should be visiting you personally." Feng Mo said it sincerely, and Gu Jun could certainly tell that the nephew in front of him respected him from the bottom of his heart. Patting Feng Mo's shoulder, Gu Jun said, "Now you are the lord of an empire. The fleets under your command have successively wiped out the first and second fleets of the mechanical race. This brilliant record is not much better than that of the Yunshan fleet. As your uncle, I should welcome you personally." After speaking, he hugged Feng Mo's shoulders and whispered in a voice that the two of them could hear, "Don't show off. Don't easily agree to any conditions of the Federation. Be careful yourself, and focus on preserving your strength." These words were more of an instruction than a warning. Gu Jun was extremely kind to Feng Mo and spared no effort to help. Feng Mo nodded after hearing this and said, "Uncle, don't worry. Now in the Storm Empire, no force can force me to do anything I don't want to do, even if it is based on strength. The Storm Empire is not afraid of any force in the Federation." Feng Mo's words were categorical and contained strong confidence. As long as the Storm Fleet is in hand, unless the enemy dispatches more than 10 fleets to encircle the Storm Fleet, there is no way to retain the Storm Fleet. Gu Jun took Feng Mo and the other 3 to a huge fortress. After everyone walked in, they found that the decoration here was relatively simple, just like what a front line should look like. After entering the fortress, we took the elevator all the way to the 88th floor underground. When the elevator opened, Feng Mo and others walked out and saw a huge space full of busy people. Gu Jun led Feng Mo and the other 2 to the innermost meeting room. At this time, the meeting room was full of smoke and miasma. It was normal. People always need some spiritual food, but Feng Mo didn't need it. After entering the meeting room, we saw a huge rectangular table. The head was an old man in military uniform and gray hair. There was an empty seat on the left-hand side of the old man. Gujun pointed to the position, then smiled and patted Feng Mo's shoulder, and walked to the third seat below the right-hand side of the old man. Feng Mo was not at all stage fright. Since you have left such a seat for me, don't make trouble when I sit there. Dark came to the first seat on the left-hand side of the old man and sat down. Feng Mo looked around with his eyes, ignoring the eyes of the commanders. Only when he saw the commanders of the fleets of the four empires in the northern theater, as well as the fleet commanders of the Huaiyao Empire and the Tanki Empire, did he smile and nod. As for the others, he didn't know any of them and didn't need to pay attention to them. The commanders looked at Feng Mo with some kindness, some scrutiny, and some slightly unkindness. Feng Mo silently took note of all the scrutiny and unkind looks. There was something wrong with these people, and he would investigate them carefully when he had time. Chapter 212. The legend continues. At this time, the gray-haired old man sitting in the main seat coughed 3 times, and then said, "Everyone, the Pan-Human Alliance dispatched 7 T-fleets and 10 Orc fleets at one time. Such a large scale invaded the Xinghai Human Federation. The Federation suffered a loss in fleets, but we are ahead in technology." After speaking, he looked at Chu Fu, commander of the Huaiyao fleet, and Gu Jun of the Yunshan fleet, and finally looked at Feng Mo. These 3 fleets are enough to fight 1 against 2, or even 1 against 3, among them. The Storm Fleet has the most special starships. Now the outside world calls Feng Mo a master of special starship design. Feng Mo learned that this gray-haired old man in military uniform is the supreme commander of the Apocalypse Fleet of the Apocalypse Empire. He does not belong to the Hua family or the Yu clan, but a legendary commander who rose from the Empire. Rising from obscurity, being ordered in times of crisis, leading the Apocalypse Empire, a legendary commander towards glory. Tang Zan. And the special starships of the Apocalypse Fleet under his command are not inferior to those of the Storm Fleet, but there are not as many as the Storm Fleet, and there are no interstellar jump ships. But it is still stronger than the Huaiyao Fleet and the Yunshan Fleet. It is no problem to fight 1 against 3. Feng Mo dare not underestimate this legendary commander. I propose, Tanki Fleet, Huaiyao Fleet, Yunshan Fleet each bring 3 T5 fleets to launch a large-scale interstellar battle with the enemy. Divide the battlefield into 3 places, and the Storm Fleet waits for maneuvering instructions. After the battlefield is divided, you will be sent 3 interstellar coordinates, which will be transmitted by the interstellar jump ship to carry out saturation strikes. The breakthrough point is the Storm Fleet. The old man made a strategic deployment, and no one present had any opinions. If Feng Mo was to command this battle, it is likely that the battlefield would be divided first and the interstellar jump ship would be used for sneak attacks. There are many advantages to doing this. First, King Long Interstellar Fortress has only 12 T5 fleets, which is much less than the enemy's 17 T5 fleets in terms of the number of starships. Large-scale operations are likely to be dragged down by the enemy. If the stalemate continues, both sides will suffer in the end. Therefore, it is inevitable to divide the battlefield. With a powerful T5 fleet, lead 3 weaker T5 fleets to completely separate the enemy, and then use the Storm Fleet to teleport and attack. The situation of the entire battlefield can be changed in an instant. But in this case, the burden will be all on Feng Mo, and Feng Mo did not refuse this. He came here with the Xinhuo panel mission. Moreover, the biggest advantage of the Storm Fleet now is to use the interstellar jump ship for saturation strikes. Feng Mo will not give up this advantage. With the interstellar jump ship, the Storm Fleet is not suitable for the front battlefield. Obviously, the old man also knows this. The reason why he is relieved to hand over the important task to Feng Mo is because the old man knows very well what Feng Mo has experienced along the way. This kind of lord with a firm mind will not allow himself to make mistakes in this matter. The next morning, Feng Mo was served by 2 women, dressed neatly, walked out of the room, and took the interstellar car to the number 1 starport of King Long Interstellar Fortress. After boarding the main control room of the Fengshan, Feng Mo did not issue orders in a hurry. but asked Han Pai to command the Storm Fleet to a rocky star belt not far from the King Long Interstellar Fortress. At this time, in the King Long Interstellar Fortress, the 12 fleets headed to the junction of the Central Theater and the Eastern Theater, facing the 17 fleets of the Pan-Human Alliance. There was no excessive dialogue, since the other party chose to betray. They were the enemy, and reminiscing about the past seemed artificial. Under the command of the Old Man, the 12 fleets quickly divided the 17 fleets of the Pan-Human Alliance into 3 parts. The Apocalypse Fleet led by the Old Man plus 3 T5 fleets fought against the enemy's 6 T5 fleets. The 3 T5 fleets led by the Yunshan Fleet fought against the enemy's 5 T5 fleets, and the 3 T5 fleets led by the Huaiyao Fleet fought against the enemy's 6 T5 fleets. At the same time, the 3 coordinates were sent to the main control room of the function at the same time. Feng Mo was refreshed after seeing the interstellar coordinates, and quickly issued combat orders. Storm Fleet T5 class cluster star destroyer cannon, main and secondary guns are all charged. Release all T5 class interstellar drones. T5 Pegasus, T5 Xoaniao interstellar missiles are ready. As soon as the voice fell, the entire fleet lit up with various bright lights. Report to the Lord, Storm Fleet T5 class cluster star destroyer cannon, main and secondary guns are all charged, interstellar missiles are all ready, please give instructions. Han Pai stood behind Feng Mo and reported. Okay. Jillian opens the interstellar jump gate. As Feng Mo's order was issued, the hull of Jillian lit up with bright light, and blue beams gathered in the universe to form a huge stargate. After the stargate stabilized, Jillian cut off the energy supply. Storm Fleet is going. As the Storm Fleet is about to enter the interstellar jump gate, in the 3 battlefields at this time, the Yunshan Fleet is the easiest to fight against 2, while the Apocalypse Fleet is the most anxious to fight against 3. Because those 3 fleets are also the trump fleets of the major empires. There are also many special starships, so the Apocalypse Fleet is very difficult to fight, which is why Feng Mo chose to send support with the interstellar coordinates given by the Apocalypse Fleet at the first time. At this time, the Old Man is quickly reporting the current situation to Feng Mo through the video. The enemy's first round of attack has been completed, and both sides have suffered losses. Now is the best time to attack. Good opportunity, Feng Mo said calmly. The Storm Fleet has a strong ability to seize opportunities. Now that the enemy's first round of attack has been completed, the main and secondary guns of all starships are cooling down, which is the opportunity for the Storm Fleet. In large-scale Star Wars, only micromanagement is needed. The formation must not be chaotic. The commander must know what kind of attack can be launched against the enemy at what position, and the intelligent brain will also simulate it many times. A mysterious fleet suddenly appeared in the sky above the left side of an enemy T5 fleet. As soon as it appeared, more than 20,000 T5 level interstellar missiles completely covered the enemy fleet, and then nearly 1,000 laser cannons woven into a huge laser net to cover the enemy fleet. Since the enemy fleet and the Huaiyao fleet had just launched a wave of bombardment, the star shield was turned on, and the close-in defense guns did not stop, so they were able to react. After the Storm Fleet appeared, the close-in defense rapid-fire guns immediately carried out interception strikes. However, their main and secondary guns were cooling down, and they had no strength to counterattack the Storm Fleet, so they could only passively take the beating. This is the effect that Feng Mo wanted. Even if the enemy fleet's close-in defense rapid-fire gun interception rate is as high as 70%, what does it matter? More than 20,000 T5 level interstellar missiles will cover 500 T5 and quasi-T5 mixed fleets. Even if there are only 7,000 T5 class interstellar missiles left at the end, each of your starships will still have to face the bombardment of 12 T5 class interstellar missiles. The star shields of T5 class starships can withstand it, but the quasi-T5 class ones cannot withstand it at all and can only wait for death. Chapter 213 The Storm Fleet that changes the battlefield. A single round of T5 class interstellar missiles directly bombed the enemy fleet's 500 starships, leaving only more than 100 T5 starships. and these were T-5 starships with all their star shields broken. The remaining more than 100 T-5 starships without star shields were sitting ducks facing the Storm Fleet, whose main and secondary guns were fully charged. They were allowed to be called out by the Storm Fleet. At this time, in the main control room of the Apocalypse Fleet's flagship, Tang Zhen, who was staring at the holographic radar image, saw that more than 300 red dots representing an enemy T-5 fleet had disappeared inexplicably, and he couldn't help laughing. It is worthy of being a T-5 class interstellar jump ship. I didn't expect the effect to be so good, but when he saw the video image sent back by the radar, Tang Zhen was a little silent. This legendary commander rarely showed a solemn expression. 10 T-5 class stealth bombers, 5 T-5 class interstellar missile ships, and a T-5 class interstellar star destroyer. As for those interstellar aircraft carriers and interception-type biological starships, it goes without saying, each of these starships is flagship level if it is taken by other T-5 fleets. Unexpectedly, a Storm Fleet was equipped with so many special starships. This number was too much. The legendary commander kept simulating the Apocalypse Fleet and the Storm Fleet in his mind. After many simulations, he finally found that no matter what tactics he used, he could not let the Apocalypse Fleet confront the Storm Fleet head-on. Not to mention that the other side also had an elusive interstellar jump ship. Facing this attack, the legendary commander felt powerless for the first time. This was the crushing brought by advanced technology. This advantage made the Storm Fleet no T-5 fleet in the entire Star Sea Human Federation able to fight against it. It was really because the technology was too advanced. Unless this T-5 fleet encountered a T-6 starship, not only one was not enough, but multiple T-6 starships were still needed to compete with it. This was the result of Tang Zhen's inference. Of course, a large number of special starships would inevitably lead to a large consumption of resources, which was also the reason why Feng Mo did not dare to expand and build a second T-5 fleet. If he continued to build a second T-5 fleet, Feng Mo would not be equipped with so many special starships. He could only use conventional starships as the main force, and the proportion of special starships would only be about 1 or 2. It was really too consuming, not to mention the energy. The interstellar missiles alone were almost unable to be supplied. At this time in the battlefield, the T-5 class cluster star destroyer guns and main and secondary guns of the Storm Fleet fired at the same time, forming a firepower network that covered all the remaining more than 100 enemy T-5 starships, and groups of round fireballs continued to burn in the universe. At the same time, in the Spark Panel mission, the task of annihilating the 3 T-5 fleets has been completed by 1/3. The Pan-Human Alliance fleet was shocked by the sudden appearance of the Storm Fleet's 16 commanders, especially when the interstellar radar scanned the configuration of the Storm Fleet. All commanders immediately thought of retreating. The second idea was to gather the entire Pan-Human Alliance fleet to encircle and annihilate the Storm Fleet, even if it cost a lot. Feng Mo must be killed. This person is really too evil. At this time, in the main control room of the Apocalypse Fleet flagship, Commander Tang Zhen decisively issued an order to launch a second round of attacks, making sure to drag all the enemy's T-5 fleets in place and continue to create more sneak attack opportunities for the Storm Fleet. After a round of bombing, the Storm Fleet did not covet any spoils, nor did it continue to attack, but turned the bow and evacuated the battlefield directly. Because the enemy did not unify their thoughts at the first time, some commanders wanted to retreat, and some commanders wanted to concentrate their forces to destroy the Storm Fleet. In addition, the front battlefield continued to exchange fire, which led to the safe evacuation of the Storm Fleet. Retreating to a position that the enemy's interstellar radar could not scan, the Jillian, which was guarded in the center of the fleet, opened the interstellar jump gate again. Through the interstellar jump, the Storm Fleet safely returned to the King Long interstellar fortress to resupply ammunition. At this time, in the main control room of the Feng Mo issued the latest order. 10 T-5 Xuaniao-class stealth bombers lurk in the next target fleet and follow the order to attack. The reason why Feng Mo did this was that the interstellar jump ship could be used once, but it would be very dangerous to use the same method a second time. Moreover, The enemy had at least 5 fleets in each battlefield. After a round of salvos, the Storm Fleet would lose at least 1/3 of its starships. In order to minimize the loss of starships and completely annihilate the 3 enemy fleets, Feng Mo thought of a new way, thanks to a weapon developed by the Starship Design Department led by Elisa. It is similar to the time bomb in the previous life, but it is split and equipped with a small positioning radar. As long as it is within a certain range, it can specify the target of attack and explode at a fixed time. The power is equivalent to that of a T-5 class interstellar missile. Due to time constraints, the Starship Design Department only had time to produce 10,000, and Feng Mo brought them all at once. An hour later, after replenishing its ammunition, the Storm Fleet did not go to the previous rocky star belt again, but came to the front battlefield, which puzzled the commanders. However, seeing Feng Mo's confident look, no one asked him the reason. The previous round of bombing really shocked the fleet commanders. The power was too strong, so the commanders simulated it in their minds at the same time, and finally found that even if they commanded the fleet, they could not avoid the bombing. This time, Feng Mo targeted one of the 6 T-5 fleets of the enemy that fought against the Huaiyao fleet. This was an interstellar orc fleet. From the hull, it can be seen that the interstellar orcs are about half a meter taller than the interstellar humans on average, and they are strong and powerful. So the fleet of the interstellar orcs is generally much larger, which also means that more raw materials are consumed, and the starship is not strong just because it is big. There are many things to consider, so the starships of the interstellar orc fleet are mostly giant ships with big guns, but the interstellar speed is very poor. Lord, 10 T-5 Xoanyo have arrived at the best bombing point. Please give instructions. Mello reported to Feng Mo. Okay, Jillian, open the interstellar jump gate. 5 T-5 Pegasus switch to T-5 level timed tracking missiles, and fire. After Feng Mo gave the order, the Jillian ship body opened the energy matrix again, and countless lights gathered in the universe to form a huge stargate. After Jillian stabilized the stargate, 5 T-5 Pegasus-class interstellar missile ships fired a series of salvos, and all 10,000 T-5 level timed tracking missiles were fired. The missile passed through the interstellar jump gate and was accurately transmitted to the top of the enemy starship. In an instant, 10,000 T-5 level timed tracking missiles instantly split into 30,000 interstellar missiles, and instantly found the target starship that had been locked. At the same time, in the main control room of the Fengshan Storm Fleet, move forward. T-5 class cluster star destroyer, main and secondary guns are charged simultaneously. Mello, start action. Chapter 214 Mission completed. At Feng Mo's command, the Storm Fleet entered the radar scanning area, and all the tracking missiles that had found the target starship were detonated, and balls of flames illuminated the entire universe. 10 T-5 Xoanyo locked onto the enemy's T-5 starship and simultaneously launched a large number of antimatter annihilation missiles and proton torpedoes. The fireworks of the explosion continued. Before the enemy fleet could react, the star shields of a large number of T-5 starships were directly shattered, and some quasi-T-5 starships turned into a ball of fire and continued to burn. At the same time, the Storm Fleet, which had just entered the field, fired 5 brown beams of light from 5 T-5 class cluster star destroyers at the same time, directly piercing through the 5 T-5 starships, and then nearly 1,000 laser cannons woven into a laser net, covering all the enemy starships. A large number of interstellar drones all rushed towards the enemy fleet, taking advantage of his illness to kill him. It was obvious that the Storm Fleet had already used this set of combined skills very skillfully. After several minutes of indiscriminate bombardment by 30,000 tracking missiles, the enemy's T-5 fleet of less than 500 ships was like a canoe caught in a raging wave. It could not withstand the attack at all. A wave of spray directly broke the wooden boat apart. Under the coverage of the firepower network, starships were constantly blown up and turned into balls of fire that kept burning. At this time, in the main control room of the Fengshan, The red dots representing enemy starships kept extinguishing and turning gray in the radar image. The storm fleet's new combination punch directly beat the enemy fleet without any chance to fight back. Many commanders had never thought that interstellar jump ships could be used in this way. After seeing this scene, Tang Zhen slapped his thigh and praised the adjutant behind him. "See, this is the imagination of young people. We are old, and now it is the world of young people." The adjutant who followed him for hundreds of years smiled and said, "You will always be a legend in my heart." No, one doesn't like to hear good words, and no one doesn't like sincere people. Obviously, what the adjutant said touched Tang Zhen's heart. He laughed and said, "Dao you have followed me for 100 years. You have learned and practiced almost everything. If you continue to follow me, it will delay your future. After this battle, the old man will recommend you to the top of the Apocalypse Empire. First, I will give you a quasi T5 level and T4 level mixed fleet to lead. When the old man retires, the next supreme commander of the Apocalypse fleet will be yours. Young man, work hard." "Yes, Commander." "Thank you." It is obvious that Tang Zhen gave benefits at the beginning and painted a pie in the sky at the end, but the adjutant was also very useful. At least the last thank you was sincere enough. In the main control room of the Fengxian, Feng Mo watched the red dots dim one by one, and his heart was relieved. He was not sure that this method would be successful before, because it had only been tested in a small number, and each test had less than 100 tracking missiles. It was the first time that the entire storm fleet used a large number of tens of thousands of tracking missiles. Alyssa really invented an incredible weapon. Each tracking missile can be split into 3 parts and can also automatically lock the target starship. Although this missile is a little less powerful than a conventional T5 level interstellar missile, its performance is much stronger. Feng Mo likes it very much and asks Alyssa to make more of it. Of course, the performance is good, and the raw materials are also very expensive. The average cost of one missile is more than 1.5 times that of an interstellar missile. However, it is not a matter of thinking about resources now. With the support of the Kiao family, the Hua family, and the Chu family, the Storm Empire can temporarily not consider resources. Those large families with nearly 10,000 years of history have unfathomable foundations, which can fully meet the squandering of the Storm Fleet. Moreover, when Feng Mo upgrades the fleet technology to the T6 level, it will be time to give back to them. After a round of T5 class cluster star destroyer guns and main and secondary guns fired, the Storm Fleet slowly retreated. At the same time, 10 T5 Xoanios poured out all their shipborne weapons and retreated at the same time. The enemy fleets had no desire to attack the bug-like starships such as stealth bombers, but all forces are now studying how to restrain the technology of stealth bombers. Feng Mo was already ready, just waiting for points to exchange, and there was also technology to restrain jump ships. One was a special radar called anti-stealth passive radar, and the other was a space interception device. It would take 15,000 points to exchange both, and Feng Mo did not have them for the time being, so he had to actively complete the task. And he believed that it would be impossible for the major forces to research these two technologies without a few years, unless there was support from a more advanced civilization. The Xinhuo panel has completed 2/3 of the task, leaving only the last fleet. After completion, the design drawings of the War Star will be in hand. Feng Mo was already impatient, but unfortunately, he had already used up all the tactics he had prepared. He couldn't use the method he had just used to annihilate a fleet. This tactic was based on surprise. All the commanders present were real veterans who had experienced many battles and all kinds of star wars. Feng Mo's unexpected annihilation of 2 T5 fleets was already a very brilliant achievement. Repeating the old trick would only put the Storm Fleet under siege, and the T5 level tracking missiles had also been used up, so the plan of airdropping missiles could not be implemented. The 2 previous sneak attacks using interstellar jump ships had killed 2 T5 fleets, helping the Apocalypse Fleet and the Radiant Fleet to greatly relieve the pressure. Now the Storm Fleet has joined the battlefield again, this time heading straight for the 3rd battlefield opened up by the Yunshan Fleet. Directly snatching the attack target of an enemy T5 fleet from the Yunshan Fleet greatly reduced the pressure on the Yunshan Fleet. Seeing this, Gujun smiled and said, "Well done, Feng Mo. You have to be careful after this battle. All the starships of the Storm Fleet will become the research targets of major forces." "It's okay, Uncle Gujun. Let them study and see whether they can study faster or I can design faster." Feng Mo couldn't deny what Gujun said. He was not afraid of other forces to study, because they certainly couldn't think that Feng Mo had a trick. "You are still studying the T5 starship of the Storm Fleet, and he is almost getting the design drawings of the T6 starship." "Oh, from what you said, Feng Mo, is there any clue about the T6 starship? Just don't forget your Uncle Gujun, haha." Gujun raised his eyebrows and said with a smile. Feng Mo gave him a mysterious smile. The T6 starship was not a dream. After all, with the current strength of the Storm Fleet, it was no problem to push the Young Empire and the Yushuang Empire. It was not far from the time to obtain the T6 flagship. The one fighting against the Storm Fleet was the main fleet of the Xuanling Empire, one of the 5 major empires in the Eastern Theater. The Xuanling fleet had a fleet size of 550 starships, including 370 T5 starships and 180 quasi-T5 starships. Chapter 215 The Bloodiness of an Old Man. On the other hand, the Storm Fleet was full of T5 starships, but there were only more than 100 of them. Facing a fleet that was 5 times the size of his own, Feng Mo did not choose guerrillas, but went straight to the front. The T5 class interstellar missile swarm of 5 T5 Pegasus is ready. All interstellar drones will be dispersed to conduct an interception attack. The T5 cluster star destroyer cannon, main and secondary cannons are charged and ready. A series of orders were issued, and the enemy fleet had just launched an attack. Naturally, the Storm Fleet was a little panicked when the Storm Fleet suddenly attacked, and they were at a disadvantage. However, the top commander of the Xuanling fleet, Han Cheng, is not a softie. Instead, he has an extremely hot temper. His own fleet has just fought against the Yunshan fleet. The main and secondary guns and star destroyer guns are all cooling down. There are only a few T4 class star missile ships, but poses no threat to the Storm Fleet. If you continue to wait, you will be beaten passively. With the firepower of the Storm Fleet, I am afraid that the Xuanling fleet will not be able to withstand the 2 rounds of frontal attacks by the Storm Fleet. Thinking of this, Han Cheng gritted his teeth, stamped his feet, and ordered to the hundreds of captains in front of the main console. The Xuanling fleet moves forward, hand-to-hand combat weapons activated. At Han Cheng's order, the entire fleet suddenly accelerated and rushed towards the Storm Fleet like a whole body. This scene happened to be seen by Gujun, who reminded him, "Feng Mo, be careful. The Xuanling fleet has very strong hand-to-hand combat capabilities, and every starship they build will be specially equipped with hand-to-hand combat weapons." "Uncle Gu, don't worry, compared to hand-to-hand combat, the Storm Fleet has never been afraid of anyone. However, the Xuanling fleet is rushing over like this. It would be a pity not to use them as targets." "Storm Fleet, hit me." Feng Mo's voice suddenly raised 2 tones, and with an order, the 5 T5 Pegasus that had been prepared launched 10,000 T5 class interstellar missiles at the same time. At the same time, the 30 T5 Stegosaurus in the front row also launched 900s of T3 class interstellar missiles. A large number of interstellar drones flew out from the Orca and flew towards the Xuanling fleet. The airborne weapons weaved into a fire net, intercepting the Xuanling fleet halfway. At the same time, more than 10,000 T5 class interstellar missiles were all fired. Even if the Xuanling fleet started to intercept and attack immediately, the interception rate was not high, only 60%. More than 4,000 T5 class interstellar missiles fell at the same time. Alert! The Xuanling fleet is locked by a large number of energy bodies and interstellar missiles. Please give instructions. In the main control room of the Xuanling fleet flagship, the alarm sounded, and Han Cheng said directly, "There is no need to issue relevant warnings. All starships in the Xuanling fleet have lifted their engine restrictions and entered extreme speed mode. As long as they rush into the enemy fleet, we will win." Han Cheng's decisiveness saved his life many times. But this time his luck would not be as good as before, because he met Feng Mo. 4,000 T5 class interstellar missiles fell, shattering the star shields of a large number of starships in the Xoanling fleet, and a large number of quasi-T5 starships were directly bombarded to pieces. Looking at the green dots representing one's own fleet on the radar image of the main console keeps going out. However, Han Cheng was unmoved. In his opinion, if he wanted to rush into the Storm Fleet and start a hand-to-hand battle with the enemy, he would definitely be attacked by the Storm Fleet. Han Cheng was already mentally prepared. However, the intensity of the enemy's artillery fire was beyond Han Cheng's expectation. These 4,000 T5 class interstellar missiles alone caused the Xoanling fleet to lose 170 starships. Looking at the destroyed starships one after another, Han Cheng's heart was bleeding at this time, but he had no choice. Instead of waiting for death on the spot, it was better to fight. He couldn't let the young commanders look down on them. Make your voice heard and tell them that old fritters are also bloody. As the T5 interstellar missile fell, nearly 1,000 beams of light directly covered the entire Xoanling fleet. The T5 starship with its star shield shattered could not withstand such a large-scale saturation attack. In particular, the 5 brown light pillars directly penetrated a T5 class star frigate, and then penetrated a T5 class star destroyer again unabated. Feng Mo looked at the red speck of light that was only in his early 200s and smiled softly. This was just an appetizer, and the following was the straw that broke the camel's back. The 10 T5 blackbirds that had arrived at the designated position poured out all the remaining shipborne weapons. The 10 T5 blackbirds that had just bombed the interstellar orc fleet did not return to resupply, but remained lurking in the battlefield. Mello, who was accustomed to retaining some ammunition, gave the final order to empty all the ammunition. Although there were only more than 700 neutron missiles in this wave, it was enough for the Xoanling fleet to drink a pot. Facing more than 700 neutron missiles, a look of despair appeared on Han Cheng's face. This was because more than half of the entire Xoanling fleet died before they could get close to the enemy storm fleet. Facts tell him that hand-to-hand combat is not something ordinary people can do. I have sufficient firepower to cover it. Why should I engage in hand-to-hand combat with you? 900 neutron missiles fell, and nearly 100 more flames burned. The hulls of the last 100 remaining starships in the Xoanling fleet were also injured one after another. At this time, 30 T5 stegosauruses were lined up in a row, their main guns firing. With a bright light, the stegosaurus team sailed forward slowly. Entering the shooting range, the leader of the stegosaurus team decisively issued the shooting order. Although the T5 stegosaurus is only equipped with one main gun, its diameter and power are not small. 30 beams of light penetrated directly through 30 enemy T5 starships that were already covered with wounds. Looking at the Xoanling fleet with only 70 ships covered with injuries, Feng Mo decisively issued an order. Then let's fight hand-to-hand. Stegosaurus team, show off your weapons, release engine restrictions, enter top speed mode, and start fighting hand-to-hand. At Feng Mo's command, 2 huge long swords and a huge iron hammer appeared on the bow of the T5 giant. Long hand-to-hand combat. Feng Mo got his start with hand-to-hand combat. So he was not afraid of hand-to-hand combat, but close combat would cause damage to his own starship, and he felt sorry for it. Seeing that the enemy's 30 frigates also had shipborne weapons, Han Cheng was obviously stunned on the spot. Having shipborne weapons meant that the enemy was also good at hand-to-hand combat, but this item was not included in the information they collected from Feng Mo. Cunning, little devil. Xoanling fleet, charge. After the charge order was issued, Han Cheng knew his fate, only death. He was not afraid, but only hated why he had to leave the Federation. Such a genius will definitely be the Speaker of the Federation in the future, leading the entire Xinghai Human Federation to reform, develop technology, and move towards a higher civilization. Feng Mo's talent was too amazing. The storm fleet he designed was impeccable. Han Cheng was really convinced, but he did not lack the courage to show his sword. 30-67. Although the Xoanling fleet did not have a star shield, Han Cheng did not think they would lose. Let him teach the young people another lesson. Chapter 216 Battle Star. However, things went against expectations. When 30 T-5 stegosaurs fought against the Xoanling fleet of nearly 70 starships, Han Chang-gong realized that something was wrong. He saw 30 T-5 stegosauruses in a group of 3, with 1 main tank and 2 the ship responded. Relying on the protection of the star shield, they launched hand-to-hand combat while firing T-5 class interstellar missiles and close-range rapid-fire cannons from the launch silo. This is completely a shameless behavior and has no morality on the battlefield. Of course, this is what Han Cheng thinks. Feng Mo does not agree with it. He can even transmit tracking missiles. It is simply unrealistic to talk about morality with him on the battlefield. In Feng Mo's heart, as long as he protects the Storm Empire, even if the flood outside is raging, it has nothing to do with him. It is this kind of thinking that allows him to develop so fast. Of course, during the development process, the fire system also provided every little bit helps. Of course, Feng Mo had learned a lot about tactics at Yunshan Military Academy, but in the end he still felt that the 3-3 system was the most useful and most efficient. At first, Han Cheng thought that 30 starships versus 70 starships, I had the advantage. At this time, Han Cheng was also shocked, but he didn't say anything more. He just sighed and said, "Times have really changed. We old guys are really going to be eliminated. From now on, it will be the world of young people. Feng Mo, let Han Cheng die and become your invincible fleet." At this time, in the main control room of the Fengshan, the Xinhuo mission panel rang out. The mission of annihilating 3 enemy fleets of the Pan-Human Alliance had been completed. Feng Mo was not in a hurry to receive it. At this time, the enemy fleet peeled off a group of interstellar frigates and retreated. The remaining large forces retreated. The Star Sea Human Federation did not pursue them deeply. This time, they used the Storm Fleet and the interstellar jump ship to destroy 3 enemy fleets in succession, which can be regarded as a hearty victory. The withdrawal of the Pan-Human Alliance was also expected by many commanders. If the battle continued, it would be easy to destroy several fleets. The gains outweighed the losses. They could only retreat temporarily and think about the next solution. 17 T-5 fleets attacked, and when they returned, only 14 T-5 fleets were left, many of which were damaged. Such fighters fulfilled the prestige of the Storm Fleet, and also gave the Storm Fleet a big red name among the major forces. In the next period of time, the Storm Fleet will inevitably become the subject of research by all major forces, including the Star Sea Human Federation. Every starship in the fleet and every star battle in the fleet will be carefully interpreted and deciphered by the major forces. The mission of the Xinhuo panel was also successfully completed. When the time came in the evening, Feng Mo did not attend the celebration banquet, nor did he continue to live in the King Long Interstellar Fortress. Instead, he came to the Fengshan main control room to rest. Half lying on the captain's chair, a blue screen appeared in Feng Mo's eyes. Temporary mission: annihilate 3 T-5 level Pan-Human Alliance fleets. Completed. Reward: T-5 Shanghai level battle planet design drawings. Feng Mo clicks to receive the reward. Reward received successfully. Obtain T-5 mountain and sea level battle planet design drawing ×1. Rubbing his hands secretly, Feng Mo excitedly opened Zhanxing's information to browse. T-5 mountain and sea level battle planet, battle star data, average radius 300 km, speed 300 knots, star speed, dark energy matrix engine, level 5 dark energy matrix star shield, level 5, 100% weapon equipment, T-5 black hole star destroyer cannon ×1, the third form of the star destroyer cannon, T-5 cluster star destroyer cannon ×10, T-5 neutron cannon ×50, T-5 laser cannon ×500, close-range rapid-fire cannon ×1000, fighter equipment, T-5 level interstellar drone ×2000, T-5 level interstellar bomber ×1000, T-5 level interstellar self-destruction machine ×600, T-5 level interstellar shipbreaker ×400. Feng Mo was shocked when he saw the information. With so many weapons, these weapons alone are worth a lot of money. The cost of the T5 Black Hole-class Star Destroyer cannon is not worse than that of a T5 class starship. There are also T5 level neutron cannons and T5 level laser cannons, a total of 550. And this is not all the weapons of the Death Star. There are also 2,000 interstellar drones. After Feng Mo was silent for a moment, he passed the information about the Battlestar to Alyssa and Al. The three of them stayed up all night, calculating the construction value of the T5 Mountain and Sea Battlestar with the help of their brain. It wasn't until 8 o'clock the next morning that the three of them completed their preliminary calculations. Alyssa on the other side of the video shouted excitedly, "This is a battle fortress, let's build it, Lord. It only requires 10 billion star coins. To build this fortress, it will definitely not be a problem to flatten the entire Star Sea Human Federation." Feng Mo ignored Alyssa's excited speech and looked at Al across the video. He touched his forehead with his right hand. He could clearly feel his temples beating and asked helplessly, "Al, how many star coins are there in the accounts of each major galaxy, including the Empire?" After hearing this, Al continued to operate in front of the main console, and finally looked at Feng Mo and said, "Lord, after deducting daily expenses from the accounts of the 13 major galaxies, a total of 400 million star coins can be collected. After deducting expenses from the Storm Empire account, a total of 600 million star coins can be collected. The total is 1 billion. Only the cost of building Battlestar is 1/10. Feng Mo was a little silent after hearing this, and silently glanced at his account. There were 400 million star coins lying on it, which was 1.4 billion, which was far from enough. But just like Alyssa said, it didn't matter if there were no Battlestar design drawings before. Now that the design drawings are available, I can no longer hold back my desire to build this killer weapon. Hold on. After Feng Mo spoke to Alyssa and Al, he hung up the video, and then dialed the video communication between Chu Yunjian, Wang Chongqing, Hua Yuking, and the head of the Kiao family. The video was quickly connected. Feng Mo didn't waste any time and directly threw the data simulation image of the Battlestar in front of the four people. After waiting for about 5 minutes, looking at the four people's short breathing expressions, Feng Mo said with a smile, "The construction cost is 10 billion star coins. Of course, it would be better if the corresponding resources can be provided directly. Therefore, I need your help. Build. It must be built." The Chu family is willing to spend 3 billion in raw materials to build this T5 mountain and sea-level battle planet. The first one to respond was Chu Yunjian. She didn't hesitate at all, but directly said how much raw materials she could produce. This showed that she had blindly trusted Feng Mo. This kind of expenditure, if the construction fails, will be a huge loss. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a loss of flesh. It can be said that the annual income of the entire Storm Empire may not be 3 billion star coins. Build. It must be built. The Mo family and the Wang family are willing to provide you with raw materials worth 1 billion star coins. If it is not enough, the Mo family can continue to support. The second person to respond was Mo Zhu, the eldest daughter of the falling star Mo family and Wang Chongqing's fiancée. Feng Mo knew from the moment he met her that she was a strange woman who did things vigorously and resolutely. Her relationship with Lao Wang was more like that of a woman. The master is outside. The male is the master inside. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 217 Fundraising. Hua Yukin and the head of the Kiao family looked at each other, and then said in unison, "The Lord has such an ambition, so there is no reason for the Hua and Kiao families not to support it. The remaining 5 billion star coins will belong to our two families." After hearing this, Feng Mo could only sigh. This is the foundation of a 10,000-year-old family. The resources it possesses are really inexhaustible. However, Feng Mo also knew that it was probably only this time, before the Storm Empire developed vigorously, thanks to the great help of the Kiao, Chu, and Hua families. The raw materials were provided and the people were provided. Now most of the senior teachers in the Storm Military Academy are the top talents of the three families. There is no way. What these big families lack the most is professional talents. You may let them do a little worse in practice, but this does not mean that their professionalism is not strong. And most of the three families responded to Feng Mo's requests without asking for anything in return. Feng Mo knew what they were doing for. The Storm Empire owed the three families a lot, but Feng Mo was not a person who was entangled, and he was not worried that he could not pay it back. The more they invested in him, the more confident they were in him. As long as he could continuously come up with new technologies, the three families would definitely sit firmly on the Storm Empire ship and would never get off. Thank you all for your help. According to the inference of the Storm Empire Starship Design Department, it is estimated that it will take more than 2 years to build a T-5 Mountain and C-class combat planet, and by then it will be able to sweep across the entire Starsea Human Federation. Feng Mo did not hide his ambition in front of everyone, and his ambition fell in everyone's eyes with different expressions. The head of the Kiao family had eyes with appreciation and respect, Hua Yuqing Wang Chongqing was worship, and Chu Yunjian was in love. After giving Chu Yunjian a look alone, Feng Mo hung up the video of everyone, and then asked Alyssa to make a plan according to the proportion of everyone's investment and send it to everyone. Those who have raw materials will provide raw materials, and those who don't have raw materials will provide star coins. Alyssa, start organizing people now. Set up a separate star design department in the Starship Design Department. All people in the Storm Empire can be mobilized at your will. You can get people and star coins if you want. The goal is to successfully build the War Star within 2 years. After hearing this, Alyssa did not have the distressed expression of the past, but shouted with a little excitement, "Lord, rest assured, Alyssa promises to complete the task." She was already a little impatient to conduct research on the War Star. After saying this, Alyssa hung up the video and ran all the way to the Starship Design Department with her short legs. She was going to start snatching people. Feng Mo, who completed the task, did not stay too long. The Storm Fleet stayed at Starport No. 1 for 7 days. During this period, the Pan-Human Alliance did not make any moves, and Feng Mo issued an order to return. But the Storm Fleet's goal was not the Snow Eagle Galaxy, but to reach the Apocalypse main star through the portal, where a treasure house of the Federation was built. Feng Mo came here because the Federation had promised to let him choose a treasure from the treasury, and the Federation would reimburse everything for the Storm Fleet. Feng Mo would definitely take this opportunity to reimburse more. He made a list of the weapons that needed to be reimbursed, and then entered the Star Network space to submit it to the Federation Parliament. In less than 10 minutes, the Parliament replied that all the resources and weapons on the list would be sent to the Snow Eagle main star. In this regard, Feng Mo could only sigh that he was rich and powerful. It was worthy of the Federation that had developed for 7,500 years. It was rich and resourceful. There were quite a lot of weapons on the list submitted by Feng Mo this time. The Federation did not bargain with him, but directly agreed to it, which surprised Feng Mo. For T5 level interstellar missiles alone, Feng Mo wrote 100,000 on the list. He launched a total of 50,000 missiles. It was not too much to ask for twice the amount. The most excessive thing was the starship maintenance fee, depreciation fee, and loss fee. He asked for a total of 300 million star coins. Perhaps these are small numbers for the Xinghai Human Federation. 300 million star coins were directly transferred to Feng Mo's account within 10 minutes. If you think about it carefully, it is right. Before the Xinghai Human Federation split, it governed 17 empires and hundreds of galaxies, including 17 large galaxies, more than 40 medium-sized galaxies, and many small galaxies. The annual taxes of these empires are an astronomical figure. Feng Mo is even more looking forward to this treasure house of the Federation. After arriving at the main star of Apocalypse, the Storm Fleet docked at Starport No. 2 under the guidance of the ground guide. After getting off the Fengshan, Feng Mo took Han Pei and Shang Xuan directly to the highest building of the main star of Apocalypse, the Federal Parliament building. This is the first time Feng Mo has come here, but it is not the first time. He has come here 3 or 4 times before, but they were all in the Star Network space. This is the first time to enter the physical Federal Parliament building. Before Feng Mo entered the building, he was recognized by the soldiers standing guard in front of the door. After seeing Feng Mo, he gave a standard federal military salute. "Mr. Feng Mo, good morning. I will serve you. Please follow me." At this time, a young woman in professional attire came up quickly and greeted Feng Mo. Feng Mo smiled and nodded to the guard. With Feng Mo's status, every move was watched closely. The soldier saw that Feng Mo was so approachable and had no airs, and his favorability increased greatly. If it were another occasion, he would have wanted to bow down to him. Feng Mo took Xing Xuan and Han Peipei and followed the woman in professional attire into the building. He had communicated with the staff of the Federal Parliament before coming, so there was a receptionist waiting for him. Otherwise, in normal times, there was no receptionist at the gate of the entire federal building except for the soldiers on guard. You need to walk in and explain your purpose to the front desk before a staff member will come to serve you. Of course, if you are just a citizen, an ordinary noble, then sorry, no one will serve you, and you may not even be able to enter the gate. Led by a woman in professional attire, Feng Mo and the other three walked to a straight staircase. After entering, a burst of electronic sound sounded. Scanning. In progress. Welcome Congressman Feng Mo to the federal building. An announcement was made to prove Feng Mo's identity. As for Han Peipei and Xing Xuan, they were only Feng Mo's secretaries in the federal report. Only Feng Mo's identity in the entire elevator was worthy of being announced. The elevator went all the way down. Feng Mo deduced that it should be about 5,000 meters underground. A prompt sounded, and then the door of the elevator opened. Feng Mo and the other four walked out of the elevator and came to a huge underground space. This space is not big, with an area of about 10 football fields. The decoration here is mainly monochromatic, and the overall space is relatively mild. Under the guidance of the staff, Feng Mo came to the door of a secret room. "Sir, Congressman, I can only send you here. Only you can enter the secret room." After the staff member finished speaking, he entered a password and the door to the secret room opened automatically. Feng Mo nodded and walked in. The secret room was not large, about 100 square meters. There was a huge desk in the middle with a holographic screen projected on it. Feng Mo sat down and looked at the list scrolling on the screen. This is a dazzling list of treasures in the treasure house. At this time, a voice announcement sounded. "Dear Congressman, thank you very much for your contribution to the Star Human Federation. You can choose any treasure from the list to take away. This is the Star Human Federation's reward for your contribution." After hearing this, Feng Mo looked at the scrolling list. There were thousands of optional treasures in all kinds, many of which made Feng Mo very greedy. There is another chapter in the afternoon, and there are only 2 chapters today. I am currently revising the outline for the follow-up and revising the previous chapters. I will start updating normally tomorrow. Chapter 218 Federal Treasury. It took nearly 2 hours for Feng Mo to select 3 treasures from thousands of treasures. He wanted all of them and it was very difficult to give them up. These 3 treasures were the design drawings of the space station for detecting matter particles, a T5 level ancient tree seed, and finally a piece of T7 level star mark metal. This is the material left by the star after raging into a red giant and finally exploding into a nebula. The metal formed naturally under extremely high temperatures is called star mark metal, which is generally a raw material above T7 level. This is a necessary raw material for building starships above T7 level. After being fused with dark matter raw materials, its hull armor is enough to withstand the bombardment of star destroyers. And the density of star mark metal is very high. A fist-sized star mark metal weighs 1 ton. The star mark metal in the Star Human Federation treasury is the size of a basketball and is expected to weigh 10 tons. Feng Mo was very envious of the above 3 treasures, and it was really hard to give them up. In the end, he could only grit his teeth and exchange the star mark metal. This T7 raw material was very useful to him, and compared with the first 2 treasures, this T7 raw material was more valuable. Do you want to exchange the T7 raw material star mark metal? An electronic sound sounded. Exchange. Feng Mo said affirmatively. Congratulations to the senator on the successful exchange. The T7 raw material star mark metal will be delivered to the ELIS control room within 3 hours. After the exchange, Feng Mo walked out of the secret room, and then walked out of the Federal Parliament building under the guidance of the staff. Feng Mo and the other two took the interstellar car to starport number 3, watching the prosperous scene on the ground along the way. Apocalypse main star, a level 5 life planet, can accommodate up to 300 billion people living at the same time. The climate of the entire planet is distinct in 4 seasons and is very livable. The entire Xinghai Human Federation has only this level 5 life planet. Even the Huaiyao main star is only the top of the 4th level, not the 5th level, but it has been transformed to be infinitely close to a level 5 life planet. In comparison, the Snow Eagle main star and the Hurricane main star that Feng Mo used as the headquarters before, compared with the Apocalypse main star, are not even a little bit worse. This main star is very suitable to serve as the main star of the Storm Empire in the future, and Feng Mo has been secretly thinking about it. October 1st 7500 of the Federation calendar. An announcement was built into the Star Network space. Starting from October 1st, the Storm Empire under the Star Sea Human Federation will carry out actual combat military exercises at the border of the Snow Eagle Galaxy and the Yun Galaxy as planned, focusing on the T-5G-class interstellar jump ship and the Storm Fleet's jump strike capability. Star Sea Human Federation, Storm Empire, Feng Mo Zhuan. This announcement greatly increased the momentum of the citizens of the Federation, and they denounced the Frost and Snow Human Alliance in the Star Network space, accusing them of splitting the Federation, etc. Feng Mo's move was not aimless, but had a great purpose, because in order to complete the task of the Xinhuo panel, the Young Empire and the Moon Frost Empire must be taken down. With the strength of the Storm Fleet, facing the 5 T5 fleets of the two empires can be said to be a dimensionality reduction attack. But the chance of annihilation is not great. After all, it is too difficult to annihilate nearly 2,000 T5 starships. And once the opponent is unreasonable, 2 or 3 T5 fleets will hold back the Storm Fleet, and the other 2 will directly push the Storm Empire. Feng Mo will also be very uncomfortable. Now, except for some hidden forces in the dark, the fleets of the Star Sea Human Federation are all in the Eastern Theater and the Southern Theater. And there is no energy to care about the Storm Empire and the Frost Human Alliance. The reason for issuing this military exercise announcement is that Feng Mo wants to cover up the construction of the T5 mountain and seal level combat planet, and it is also a provocation to the Frost Human Alliance. You'd better come and fight me. 1 T5 fleet will be completely destroyed, 2 will be completely destroyed, 3 can resist, and 4 will run away. This is Feng Mo's strategy. During this period, under the command of Feng Mo, the Storm Fleet patrolled along the edge of the Snow Eagle Galaxy, firing from time to time. At the beginning, the Frost and Snow Human Alliance was on high alert, and the 3 T5 fleets were directly stationed in the Yun Galaxy. But gradually they found that the Storm Fleet never crossed the border of the Snow Eagle Galaxy, and did not care about the 3 T5 fleets separated by an intergalactic space. Gradually, they relaxed their vigilance and thought that Feng Mo was just pretending to show it to the Federation. Even the Federation thought so. In fact, every interstellar carrier will directly enter the Storm Fleet after arriving at the Snow Eagle Galaxy. After the patrol, it will directly reach the Beast Ming Galaxy through the Stargate. These things are kept extremely secret, and the entire Storm Empire is investigating spies. It would rather kill the wrong person than let him go. As long as there's a suspicious person, they will be locked up for interrogation without saying a word. Even if they catch the wrong person, they will be locked up for at least 2 years. At most, they will be compensated later. These are all Feng Mo's orders. The War Star is too important. The basketball-sized T7 gray raw material star mark metal that Feng Mo brought back is integrated into the dark matter raw material, which can effectively enhance the surface defense capability of the War Star. With the integration of these star mark metals, the surface defense of the War Star can at least reach the quasi-T6 level of defense. It will be damaged by the Star Destroyer cannon, but it will not be penetrated. In addition, There is the protection of the star shield, so it is no problem to resist the third form of the Star Destroyer cannon. October 7, 7501 of the Federation calendar. The major forces gradually discovered that the Storm Fleet had been conducting military exercises for more than a year without realizing it. So far, the major forces have found something wrong, but they have no energy to care. There are no spies who can get in touch with the construction of the War Star and pass on the news to them. Feng Mo will not give them any chance in this regard. This is the reason for the blockade of the Snow Eagle Galaxy. Although all major forces know that Feng Mo is going to make a big one, they can't guess that Feng Mo is going to build a war star. They all think that Feng Mo has developed a quasi-T6 starship design plan. For this reason, the Xinghai Human Federation specially held a press conference to announce the birth of the Federation's first quasi-T6 starship, King Luan. This is a quasi-T6 interstellar aircraft carrier. Feng Mo also went to this press conference. The performance is very powerful, at least in a one-on-one situation. No starship in the Storm Fleet can match it. For this, Feng Mo can only sigh at the strength of the Federation's Starship Design Department. Feng Mo is very supportive of this kind of technology climbing behavior. There is no innovation without competition. For this reason, Feng Mo also went to the Starship Design Department under the Federation, sat down and discussed with many masters, and took a video. But the Federation did not allow it to be released for the time being because it will be released after subsequent publicity. With the first quasi-T6 starship, the accumulation from 0 to 1 was completed. The speed of the Federation's scientific and technological research and development has exploded in a short period of time. Quasi-T6 interstellar battleships, quasi-T6 interstellar destroyers, and quasi-T6 interstellar frigates have been conquered one after another in just 1 year. For a time, there were many different voices within the surrounding Frost and Snow Human Alliance and the Pan-Human Alliance in the Eastern Theater. It was obviously frightened by the Federation's successive big moves. However, all this has nothing to do with the Storm Empire. At this time, the Storm Fleet military exercise is still going on, but the commander has changed to air, and Feng Mo is in the beast-ringing galaxy. September 1, 7501 in the Federation calendar. After 1 year and 11 months of history, the T5 Shanghai-class battle planet was finally built. The battle planet is not to transform a real planet, but to build a dark energy matrix engine first, which is the core of the battle planet, and then surround it with armor, then install weapons, and finally the star shield. It is simple to say, but difficult to do. The author doesn't understand. I just made it up. Don't mind me. Wish you all a happy end of the month. Valentine's Day is coming soon. I wonder if you all have a girlfriend. If not, hurry up. Chapter 219 T5 Mountain and Sea Class Battle Planet, September 7, 7501 in the Federal Calendar. Today is the day for the trial voyage of the T5 Shanghai-class battle planet. Feng Mo arrived at Starport No. 1 early. Looking outside the starport from a distance, a huge black-gray ball was floating in the universe. There was a thin light blue light curtain on the surface of the ball. This ball is about 1/10 the size of the main planet of Beast Ming. If you look at it through the radar, you can see that there are interstellar drones and interstellar laser cannons parked under the light blue light curtain. Feng Mo led Han Pei, Xing Xuan and Alyssa off the interstellar spacecraft. The four of them first came to the main control room of the Fengshan. Then the Fengshan set sail and approached the Shanghai. The four of them then used optical tweezers technology to directly reach the main control room of the Shanghai. Control room. Sir, Commander, the dark energy matrix engine has been activated. Please give instructions. Han Pei instantly entered work mode and reported. Feng Mo sat on the captain's chair, looked at the data scanned by the radar on the main console and said calmly, "Set off." Sir, Commander. Next we will carry out the sea trial test of the Shanghai. The first item is the full speed mode. The dark energy matrix engine outputs its full power and increases the speed to 300 knots star speed. The star speed of 300 knots is the maximum speed of the Shanghai. After entering the full speed mode, it is the first and most important test for the newly built Shanghai. If it cannot pass this level, it means that the Shanghai should be rebuilt. remade. In order to better test the Shanghai, ordinary Starship sea trials only need to sail for 10 minutes. Feng Mo deliberately let the Shanghai sail for half an hour. Lord, everything is normal in the dark energy matrix engine system. The spherical structure is very stable, the energy is sufficient, and the navigation is stable. There are no abnormalities. Lord, next, we will test the star shield system, weapon system, etc. The subsequent tests of Battlestar were perfect, both in terms of performance and structural integrity of the force field. Feng Mo's hanging heart slowly relaxed. 4 hours later, with all sea trials completed, Feng Mo looked at the crew and said, "Thank you for your hard work. The future captain of this Battlestar will be Han Pei. I hope everyone can help her kill more enemies on the battlefield and add glory to the Storm Empire." Lord, Han Pei exclaimed after hearing this, and then covered her mouth with a look of disbelief. Although she had long expected that she would be appointed as a captain or fleet commander soon, she did not expect that the starting point given to her by Feng Mo would be so high. At this time, the Empire of Storms had no shortage of talents in the fleet command department. Unlike before, promotion would be more difficult. The captain position of Zhongxing is comparable to the position of the supreme commander of any fleet. Being able to serve as the captain of Zhongxing is completely Feng Mo's confidant. Han Pei has been with Feng Mo for nearly 4 years. She is the secretary who has been by his side for the longest time. Feng Mo also has high hopes for her. After the Shanghai returned, Han Pei couldn't calm down for a long time. She became Feng Mo's confidant and took up the position of captain of the Shanghai. It seemed that her purpose of coming to the Empire of Storms had been achieved. All of this was for her who was less than 30 years old. It's a bit dreamy for a little girl. Seeing this, Feng Mo patted Han Pei on the shoulder and said, "The Shanghai is left to you. I want to see your outstanding performance in the next Star Wars. Otherwise I will take back the captain of the Shanghai." "Don't worry, Lord." Pei is confident that he will become an excellent captain. Han Pei said loudly. Feng Mo smiled and continued to draw the cake. "It's good to have confidence, but you can't be arrogant. After a few years of training as the captain of the Shanghai, I will give you the command of a fleet. This is my promise to you." "Yes, Lord." Han Pei became even more excited after hearing this. Feng Mo just smiled and walked out of the main control room of the Shanghai. There were 4 people when they came, and there were only 3 when they returned. When they returned to Starport number 1 again, Feng Mo faced Xing Xiu and said, "Xiuwen, thank you for temporarily serving as my secretary. You have also seen that the current Empire of Storms is entering a period of rapid development. I am confident that it will become a level 6 civilization within 3 years. Therefore, you are far away from revenge. The day is not far away." Feng Mo had just finished painting the pie for Han Pei and then started to write and draw for Xing Xiu. Although she had a talent for detection and could sense some of Feng Mo's psychological activities, what Feng Mo said at this time was the truth and he sincerely wanted to help her. This is what women do. When she thinks you are extremely sincere and believes whatever you say, she is not far away from falling in love with you. "Yes, Lord, Xiuwen will be your secretary in the future. Lord, please take pity on Xiuwen." Feng Mo looked at Xing Xiuwen, who was half a head taller than him, and the corner of his mouth twitched slightly. He really didn't know who of the 2 of them should pity whom. This plus-size beauty always seemed to like to act coquettishly with him. She shouldn't be the imperial concubine. The type of sister is very different. But contrast is fun, just like the 3 women in Feng Mo. They are all in contrast. Switches between serious and iron-blooded and charming. Kai Lan switches between dignified and majestic, and Chu Yunjian switches between noble and elegant. Switch between open and close. It can only be said that each has its own merits, and Feng Mo likes them all. After returning to the office, Feng Mo lay half-lie on the captain's chair and looked at the 2 tasks on the Xinhuo task panel. The temporary task was to help Xing Xiuwen restore the country. The current Storm Empire is not qualified enough to enter. Then we can only complete the main task first, and take down the Yun Empire and the Yushuang Empire. This task is not difficult for the Storm Fleet with the Shanghai. But Feng Mo needs a legitimate reason, and also needs an attitude from the Xinghai Human Federation. Of course, with his current status, these are not difficult to achieve. September 12, 7501 in the Federation calendar. Today is a very special day. The Storm Fleet changed its usual practice and did not patrol the border of the Snow Eagle Galaxy, but directly entered the intergalactic space with the Yun Galaxy. This move scared the 3 T5 fleets stationed on the main star of Yun, the Frost and Snow Human Alliance. The 3 T5 fleets entered the intergalactic space at the same time to confront the Storm Fleet. Knowing that the Storm Fleet has stealth bombers and interstellar jump ships, the 3 fleets are highly alert. The main and secondary guns are all charged, and the close defense rapid-fire guns are ready to fire at any time. Faced with this tense situation, the Feng Mo fleet did not make any move. At this time, a stealth bomber appeared in the radar field of the 3 T5 fleets. Without a second word, the 3 commanders simultaneously issued the order to open fire. In an instant, the laser cannons weaved into a large laser net that enveloped the T5 Xoaniao. Fortunately, the T5 Xoaniao was well prepared. After it showed its head, it instantly lifted the engine restrictions and accelerated to its maximum speed, which was 3 times the normal speed. Even so, it was hit by several laser cannons and its star shield was shattered. Chapter 220, Sweeping. This stirred up a hornet's nest. The 2 sides, who were already tense, opened fire directly, but the Storm Fleet was extremely restrained and did not use special starships. The 2 sides exchanged a wave of star shield energy and suffered almost no damage. The 3 T5 fleets on the opposite side were also surprised by the restraint of the Storm Fleet. The 3 commanders who did not want to conflict with it issued a stop order at the same time, and the Storm Fleet took the opportunity to turn the bow in return. When Feng Mo received the video, he directly used the parliamentary authority to pin it to the top, so that all citizens of the Scarce Human Federation could see it. The Frost and Snow Human Alliance fired at the Storm Fleet for no reason. Of course, there were some problems with the part of the video that was intercepted, and there was no part where the invisible bomber showed its body. Only 3 T5 fleets fired at the Storm Fleet, and the Storm Fleet was forced to open the Star Shield and conduct interception attacks. Everything was the Frost and Snow Human Alliance's unwarranted provocation, and the purpose was to avenge the original traitor Snow Eagle Empire. The pinned video also introduced that a large number of high-ranking officials and parliamentarians of the former traitor Snow Eagle Empire completely disregarded the lives of citizens and took the lead in fleeing. Most of them went to the Moon Frost Empire, and a small number went to the Young Empire. Now everyone is calling for the Frost Human Alliance. They have already left the Scarce Human Federation, and now they are bombarding the Storm Fleet that is conducting military exercises for no reason. Moreover, Feng Mo is a great hero who has saved citizens from fire and water many times. Of course, this title is spontaneously called by citizens, not marketed by Feng Mo. He just hired some water army to market the overbearing behavior of the Frost Human Alliance. The public opinion in the Star Network space is very good. All of them are speaking for Feng Mo and criticizing the Frost Human Alliance. At this time, the second announcement of the Storm Empire was released. The Frost Human Alliance provoked and fired at the Storm Fleet without reason. The Storm Empire now issued the following announcement: 1. All star systems connected to the Frost Human Alliance are closed, and the Storm Empire is only allowed to enter but not leave. 2. The Frost Human Alliance must publicly apologize to the Storm Empire and require the apology announcement to be pinned on the Star Network space for 1 month. 3. The Frost and Snow Human Alliance must cede territory and pay compensation to the Storm Empire. The specific amount can be negotiated. After the release of these 3 announcements, it caused a great sensation in the Young Empire and the Yushuang Empire, and Feng Mo also sent a list to the Frost and Snow Human Alliance. There were very few records on it, only 3 star systems and 10 billion star coins for compensation. This made the already wronged Frost and Snow Human Alliance even more annoyed. The entire Young Empire only had 3 star systems, and you, Feng Mo, asked for 3 star systems. You directly ceded the Young Empire to you. What does 10 billion star coins represent? The total cost of the entire Storm fleet is less than 30 billion star coins. Most of these are free resources, some of which are from the eruption of the White Hole, and some are provided by the three companies. This time, Feng Mo completely angered the Frost and Snow Human Alliance into a powder keg that was about to explode, and he also politely rejected the other side's envoy who wanted to negotiate. "I won't talk to you. Either go to war or agree to cede territory and pay compensation." He came here to stir up trouble. If he didn't start a war, he would continue to stir up trouble. If the Frost and Snow Human Alliance could agree to it, they would not be far from disbanding, so they definitely couldn't agree to it. Feng Mo gave them 7 days, and after 7 days, he issued another top announcement. From now on, the Storm Empire declares war on the Frost and Snow Human Alliance. As soon as the declaration of war was announced, the entire Federation was boiling. The number of clicks on the videos uploaded by Feng Mo before was calculated in kilobytes. Amounts larger than 100 million are megabytes, and amounts larger than megabytes are kilobytes, which is approximately equal to 10 to the 16th power. It can be said that Feng Mo's traffic in the star network space is like a god. He is called a genius that only appears once in 1,000 years in the Star Sea Human Federation by many starship design experts. September 19, 7501 in the Federation calendar. Feng Mo got up early, dressed neatly under the service of Al, and brought Alan Xing Xuan to the Snow Eagle starport. Today is the day when the Storm Fleet sets out. In the main control room of the Fengtian. Today is Xing Xuan's first Star War as the Secretary of the Storm Fleet. The 9th Princess of the Star Empire only had theory before, and practical experience is almost zero. Fortunately, after following Feng Mo to fight a few Star Wars, her own talents were fully utilized. With continuous growth, Feng Mo asked her to serve as a secretary. The route planning is completed, it is safe, the fleet self-inspection is completed, and the fleet is about to enter the intelligent same-frequency warp navigation mode. Please ask the second level and below Gene Warriors to enter the deep-sea mode. Xing Xuan's voice sounded in the main control room of all the starships of the Storm Fleet. All the starships of the Storm Fleet entered the warp navigation mode with a war star at the same time. The Snow Eagle Empire is not far from the Young Empire, and the Young Empire is not big. There are only 3 galaxies, one large, one medium and one small, namely the Young Galaxy, the Huanian Galaxy, and the Menyin Galaxy. Among them, the Young Galaxy is connected to the Snow Eagle Galaxy, which saves the Storm Fleet a lot of things. There is no need to conquer galaxies one by one, it only needs to take the Young Galaxy and then dispatch a fleet to garrison. When the Storm Fleet entered the intergalactic space, the 10 T5 Xoania had already reached the best attack point. The 3 familiar T5 fleets were still intercepting at the same place as last time, but this time Feng Mo did not rashly enter the enemy's radar detection range. Through the video sent back by the T5 Xoania, after analysis by the intelligent brain, the 3 T5 fleets had a total of 1,480 starships, including 720 T5 starships and 760 quasi-T5 starships. The scale is large, but it is useless. What Feng Mo has to do this time is to crush the opponent openly, and then upload the video to the Star Network space to further increase his impression in the hearts of citizens and lay a solid mass foundation for the unification of the entire Xinghai Human Federation in the future. Fleet T5 class Star Destroyer guns. Main and secondary guns are charged and ready. Orca, Shanghai, release all interstellar drones, and enter the enemy's rear through the interstellar jump gate with the tracking missiles launched by the 5 T5 Pegasus to carry out suicide bombing. Jillian, open the interstellar jump gate. As soon as Feng Mo finished speaking, the hull of the Jillian lit up with a bright light, the energy matrix emerged, and a series of blue lights gathered in the universe to form a huge jump gate. At this time, there was no need for Feng Mo to give orders. The captains and captains of the major fleets issued orders one after another. 5 T5 Pegasus simultaneously launched 10,000 T5 class interstellar tracking missiles. This is a new type of missile developed by ELISA, which has achieved great results when fighting against the Pan-Human Alliance fleet. Then, 3,000 interstellar drones were ejected from the Orca and Shanghai and entered the interstellar jump gate. After everything was ready, Feng Mo continued to issue orders. Stormfleet enters the enemy's radar range. T5 class Star Destroyer cannon, main and secondary guns immediately fire. Mellow, find a good opportunity to give the enemy fleet a saturation attack. Chapter 221 Invincible Fleet. As soon as Feng Mo finished speaking, the fleets of both sides entered the radar scanning range of the other side. At the same time, 10,000 T5 level tracking missiles suddenly appeared above the three fleets of the Frost and Snow Human Alliance. The missiles passed through the interstellar jump gate and were accurately transmitted to the top of the enemy starship. In an instant, 10,000 T5 level timed tracking missiles instantly split into 30,000 interstellar missiles, and instantly found the target starship that had been locked. The tracking missiles that had found the target starship were all detonated, and a group of flames illuminated the entire universe. Following behind the tracking missiles were 3,000 interstellar drones, of which more than 1,000 interstellar drones fired a large number of laser cannons, weaving into a laser net to cover the enemy fleet. The interstellar bombers dropped a large number of interstellar missiles, and the interstellar self-destructors turned into a ball of flame and rushed directly to the enemy T5 starship. Even if these three T5 fleets were well prepared, the star shield was turned on at maximum power, and the interception attack was very intensive. It was impossible to intercept all of the interstellar missiles. At the same time, the storm fleet completely entered the enemy's radar field of view. In an instant, the three highest commanders of the fleet looked at the video sent back by the radar in surprise. A huge metal ball was protected by the storm fleet and drove towards the fleet. This is a war star, T5 level war star. It turns out that the Storm Empire's big move is to build this T5 level war star. It's over. The Frost and Snow Human Alliance is over. The three highest commanders of the T5 level fleet are the most knowledgeable talents in the entire Starsea Human Federation, especially in terms of starships. Although there is no war star in the entire Federation, there is information about this weapon in the Federation's database. The reason why the Frost and Snow Human Alliance is over is because they deeply know the horror of the T5 level war star. Even the Quasi T6 starship has no way to face this behemoth. First, the cost is different. The defense is different, and second, the weapons are different. Your Quasi T6 starship is still equipped with a third-level Star Destroyer, and the same is true for the War Star. You can't penetrate the War Star with one shot, but its one shot can directly smash you. In the few seconds when the three commanders were stunned, under Feng Mo's command, the Storm Fleet fired a huge red beam from the main gun of the Shanghai, splitting into a large number of small red beams along the way, piercing through all the T5 starships. When the red beam arrived in front of the target flagship, it was less than half the size of the launch, but it also directly shattered the flagship's star shield, and then the trend continued to penetrate it directly. This is the terrifying part of the Black Hole-class Star Destroyer. Following the red beam, there are also a large number of brown beams and orange beams fired by ordinary Star Destroyers. After that, the blue beams fired by conventional weapons such as T5 class neutron cannons and turbo laser cannons weaved into a laser net to cover the entire enemy fleet. The fireworks of the explosion continued, and balls of spherical flames continued to burn from the enemy starships. At the same time, the last item of this round of combo skills. 10 T5 Xoaniao locked onto the enemy T5 starships and fired a large number of antimatter annihilation missiles and proton torpedoes at the same time. Then he found the remaining two flagships of the enemy and fired all the fleet's 1,000 neutron missiles. This was the last straw that broke the camel's back. It was obvious that the Storm Fleet had already used this combination of skills very skillfully. At this time, in the main control room of the Feng Mo looked at the red dots that kept extinguishing in the radar image and was very satisfied. 10 stealth bombing fleets, 5 interstellar missile ships, 1 interstellar jump ship, 1 interstellar star destroyer, and 1 battle planet. Now the entire Federation, whether it is the T5 fleet or the Quasi T6 fleet, can't withstand the firepower of the Storm Fleet at all. Of course, he must take the initiative. After all, The firepower of a single battlestar is enough to match more than half of the total firepower of the Storm Fleet, without counting its 2,000 interstellar drones. The battlestar also has 1/3 form star destroyer cannon, 10 second form star destroyers, 50 neutron cannons, and 500 laser cannons. With this kind of firepower, the Storm Fleet's starships can only fire one round of main and secondary guns plus star destroyers, or even worse. So it's not a lie that a battlestar is equal to a conventional T5 fleet, but it's just afraid of being attacked first. However, Feng Mo is not worried. With the existence of starship jumpers, the Storm Fleet will definitely take the initiative. As for whether it will be attacked later, there will be such a situation, but he will avoid it. After all, after completing this mission, he can exchange the corresponding technology from the Xinhuo Mall. Faced with this kind of firepower bombardment, the commanders of the three fleets have long been desperate. They just sent back all the information they got before they died, and then they died generously. Their pride does not allow them to surrender. In a low voice. If Feng Mo also faces this situation one day, his choice will be the same as these three fleet commanders, all of whom are willing to die generously and are unwilling to surrender. Next is the logistics fleet to enter the battlefield. In the daily battlefield cleaning stage, Feng Mo dispatched the Fengshan fleet led by Kai Lan to the Yun Galaxy for garrison. Next, the Storm Fleet will go to the other two galaxies of the Young Empire and defeat all its living forces. In the main control room of the Fengshan, Feng Mo uploaded the video of this Star War to the Star Network space, and added a sentence. Feng Mo's current traffic is very large, and major forces have special staff squatting in the Star Network space, just to be able to watch the Storm Fleet's Star War video as soon as possible. In order to analyze the weaknesses of the Storm Fleet, once the video was uploaded, the number of views directly exceeded 1 trillion, and then grew rapidly. After seeing the battlestar appear, all the major forces watching the video took a breath of cold air. Seeing Feng Mo's domineering declaration at the end of the video, I felt a sense of powerlessness and weakness in my heart. Of course, Feng Mo's last sentence was, "The Storm Fleet pushed the three T5 fleets of the Frost and Snow Human Alliance and successfully conquered 3 star systems of the Young Empire. The next target is the Moon Frost Empire. The Storm Empire is unwilling to take the initiative to start a war, but it has never been afraid of fighting." Feng Mo personally called on the Moon Frost Empire to surrender as soon as possible and not to let the citizens of the Empire worry. At this time, more than 20 members of the Moon Frost Empire Parliament were arguing fiercely, among which the members headed by the peace-seeking faction occupied 2/3, and their purpose was to take the initiative to seek peace and survive. Their reasons made the war faction speechless. Over there was the Shanghai. At present, there were only 2 T5 fleets left in the entire Moon Frost Empire, one of which was Yu Xiaoming's uncle who had dealt with Feng Mo. This time, he also stood on the side of the peace faction. At present, anyone with a discerning eye can see that it is impossible to compete with the Storm Fleet with the Shanghai with only 2 T5 fleets, and you can't withstand a round of salvos from the other side. Forcing this Star War will only result in devastating consequences. No matter how fierce the speeches of the war advocates are on the podium, or how lofty their empty words are, the gap in hard power cannot be avoided. Chapter 222. The Federation is in turmoil. The final result of the discussion was that Yu Xiaoming's uncle Yu Mu led the Frostmark fleet to withdraw from the Yu Shuang Empire and return to the Yu clan ancestral land of the Apocalypse Empire, while the other T5 fleet surrendered to the Xinghai Human Federation and directly joined the Federation to become the Third Federation Fleet. Feng Mo's video and announcement completely excited the citizens of the Xinghai Human Federation, and completely ignited the citizens' belief in unity and peace, which made the Federation citizens' favorability towards Feng Mo soar. The logistics fleet of the Storm Fleet only took 2.5 hours to clean up the entire battlefield. During this period, the Storm Fleet was teleported to the other 2 star systems of the Yun Empire through the Stargate, and all the space stations built by the Yun Empire were destroyed, and all the starships that were still patrolling were destroyed. And patrolling all the planets in the entire star system, during which time constantly issued announcements, warning local forces not to resist, otherwise they would be hit by a devastating blow. But there were still some forces that were not afraid of death and took the initiative to provoke the storm fleet. Feng Mo was very decisive about these and cut the grass and rooted them out. Since both sides are already on opposite sides, there is no need to ask about your power or the power behind you. They are all enemies anyway, so just kill them. This is just the first step. Strong pressure. No matter if you are a local snake or a dragon from across the river, you will be coiled up for me. Only under strong pressure can we enter the second step, appeasement, commonly known as pulling one group and beating another. Feng Mo does not need to tell him to do these, and air will naturally implement them. The local forces in those galaxies of the Storm Empire were all dealt with by air. Now they are more honest than each other. This is a trivial matter and Feng Mo does not need to worry about it. Moreover, as the videos uploaded by Feng Mo were played in large quantities, the resistance encountered by the Storm Fleet became less and less. No one is a fool, unless he knows that he must die and still wants to die. Feng Mo will not be stingy in giving him a death. After dealing with the entire Young Empire, the Storm Fleet returned to the main star of Yun, and set sail again after replenishing ammunition and energy. This time the target is the Yushwang Empire. At this time, Feng Mo didn't know that the two fleets of the Yushwang Empire had all fled. While Feng Mo occupied all three star systems of the Young Empire, a large number of Yushwang Empire members, nobles, and most of the aristocratic families chose to flee. Most of their destinations were the Apocalypse Empire, the central region where the Huaiyao Empire was located, and the northern region where the Yunshan Empire was located. When the Storm Fleet arrived at the Yushwang Empire, it came all the way to the Yushwang star system and the Yushwang main star, but it did not encounter any resistance. That was just right, and it saved another star war. Feng Mo didn't want to have too many battles with his compatriots. After all, fighting against each other was a bit of a bully, and unity against the outside world was the kingly way. However, he still underestimated the threat of the Storm Fleet in the eyes of the major forces, especially the shock of the major forces when they saw the war star, and the deep fear in their eyes. After successfully receiving the entire Yushwang star system, the Storm Fleet entered the Yushwang star port under Feng Mo's command. In the next year or even longer, the Storm Fleet may be here. The Moonfrost Galaxy is a key location connecting the central and northern war zones. Heavy troops must be stationed here. This task must of course be given to the Storm Fleet. In the evening, Feng Mo was lying alone in the largest manor on the Moonfrost main star. This was originally the residence of a duke of the Moonfrost Empire. When he learned that the Storm Fleet was about to attack, the duke led more than 70 wives and concubines and ran away. Feng Mo temporarily requisitioned this place. Lying flat on the soft big bed, his eyes appeared in the light blue screen, and the Xinhuo task panel showed that the task had been completed. Task: improve the Frost and Snow Star region, capture the Moonfrost Empire, the Young Empire. Completed. Reward: 10,000 points. D6 Zuyan class interstellar battleship design drawings. Feng Mo clicked to receive the reward. Reward received: 10,000 points. D6 Zuyan class interstellar battleship design drawings ×1. Finally, this task was completed. It took a total of 3 or 4 years. The technology of the Storm Empire finally jumped directly from T5 to T6. It was not easy. Feng Mo couldn't wait to check the properties of this new flagship. D6 Zuyan class interstellar battleship. Armor strength: 10,000 units. Hull data: 7.9 kilometers times 1.4 kilometers times 1.2 kilometers. Speed: 600 knots. Warp engine: Level 6 Dark Energy Matrix Star Shield, Level 6, 100% Weapons, T6 Black Hole Class Star Destroyer ×1, T6 Cluster Star Destroyer ×4, T6 Neutron Secondary Gun ×10, D6 Close Defense Rapid Fire Laser Secondary Gun ×320. The panel is much more gorgeous than the function, especially the Star Shield. In the past, energy blocks were used to replenish the Star Shield energy, but now it has been replaced with a Dark Energy Matrix Star Shield, which has a strike resistance at least 5 times stronger than the previous Energy Star Shield. The Shanghai War Star is equipped with a Level 5 Dark Energy Matrix Star Shield, which cannot be broken by cluster star destroyers of the same level, and even black hole-class star destroyers cannot break the matrix star shield with 100% energy. Especially the armor strength, which is several times stronger than the T5 function. With the dark energy matrix star shield, it is a real thick shield and thick armor, with unparalleled defense. This flagship is very suitable for charging, just like an ancient general wearing heavy armor and holding a long weapon. Still the old rules. Feng Mo personally took the function to send the design drawings of the Zuyan back to the underground storage room of the Hurricane main star, and then let Alyssa come alone. The two of them spent nearly a month to thoroughly understand the design drawings of the Zuyan. Moreover, Feng Mo also redeemed all three T5 level technologies, including space interception device, warp interceptor, and anti-stealth passive radar, from the Xinhuo Mall. This time, the points earned were directly cleared, which also made Feng Mo heartbroken. Three technologies and one design drawing made Feng Mo and Alyssa extremely busy this month. After the two of them thoroughly understood the design drawings of Zhu Yan, they did not rush to build it. Instead, they first understood these three technologies, and then teach it to the Starship Design Department. In the future, every galaxy, every living planet, and every resource planet in the entire Storm Empire will install these three devices according to needs. And each fleet will have an interstellar carrier specially carrying these three devices in order to deal with all emergencies. Feng Mo regained the lost territory for the Federation, and the citizens of the Star Sea Human Federation were extremely excited. However, the upper-level members of the Federation were not happy, but they could no longer show it openly. The reason is that the Federation is not qualified to fall out with the current Empire of Storms. According to the inference of the Starship Design Department, even if the Alliance builds a quasi-T6 fleet, it will be difficult to resist the firepower bombardment of the Storm Fleet. After all, the quasi-T6 fleet is only accurate, not the real T6 fleet. So the Federation is a mutant eats coptiscensis, the territory of the three empires and 11 galaxies, 3 of which are large galaxies, all belong to the Storm Empire. Chapter 223 Alyssa and number 039:S busyness. Whoever is in charge of this matter can accept it. This should have been the territory of the Federation, and the Storm Empire was a parliamentary system. It was an empire established by Feng Mo alone. His voice was unprecedentedly strong. This kind of empire with one-man rule was not supported by the Federation. It was because the Storm Fleet was so powerful that the Federation had to compromise again and again. Although it was unhappy with Feng Mo, it couldn't kill him, so it could only get close to him and make Feng Mo relax his vigilance. Moreover, the entire Federation's open power is now concentrated in the Southern Theater to fight against the Interstellar Mechanical Tribe, and the Eastern Theater to confront the Pan-Human Alliance. There is no power to deal with the Storm Empire. Moreover, with Feng Mo now on the Warstar and the jump ship in hand, the Federation is not stupid and will not easily go to war with him. At least it has to wait until the Federation has 2 quasi-T6 fleets, or find a way to crack the invisible bomber and jump ship. Feng Mo also knew that as the Storm Empire swallowed up the 3 empires and dominated the entire Western Theater, his honeymoon period with the Xinghai Human Federation was completely over. He really had no say in what the situation would develop in the future. The next morning, Feng Mo sat up, checked the refreshed main task, and then lay back on the bed, feeling unwell. Task: promote the Storm Empire to a level 6 interstellar civilization. Reward: 1,000,000 points. D6 level perfect gene potion formula. Feng Mo version temporary task: 9 sons compete for the throne. Help Xingxuan become the Empress of the Xingqian Empire. Reward: T7 Kai class interstellar battleship design drawings. T7 Huayu class interstellar stargate design drawings. Temporary task: dominate the Xinghai Human Federation and establish a new order. Reward: 100,000 points. T7 level authority unlocked. When Feng Mo saw these 3 tasks, a look of despair appeared on his face. The first temporary task had already been there, and the Storm Fleet was not qualified to enter without T7 level strength. The second temporary mission was a little more normal. It was to dominate the Xinghai Human Federation. The rewards were also very generous. Feng Mo kept looking forward to unlocking the rights. But the main mission was a little too abnormal. It was not so easy to be promoted to the 6th level civilization. The entire Xinghai Human Federation was only rated as a 5th level interstellar civilization at its peak. But the rewards still made him jealous. 1 million points. A T7 level starship design drawing only needed 1 million points to exchange. Moreover, there was also the formula of the 6th level perfect gene potion. It was just that he had the 4th and 6th levels, but he didn't have the 5th level. In the following days, Elisa wanted to cut herself into 4 pieces. Feng Mo brought a group of starship engineers to build the Zuyan, and she was needed. Feng Mo also issued an order to replace the T5 starship for his fleet, and Elisa had to execute it. And the 3 technologies that Feng Mo exchanged also required Elisa to organize people to study and build, and Feng Mo took out a design drawing of a T5 level interstellar fortress. This time, Elisa's little face finally collapsed. She felt that Feng Mo was her nemesis. Not only could he catch her eating snacks every time he came to the office, but he also assigned her so many tasks. He was really a stinky lord. Of course, this was just a psychological activity. Whenever Feng Mo called her, Elisa would run to Feng Mo with a silly smile on her face. And Feng Mo would use both hands to mess up Elisa's carefully dressed hairstyle, causing her to roll her eyes at Feng Mo. The Storm Empire had just raised funds 2 years ago, and now there are not enough star coins in the treasury account. The construction cost of the Zuyan is about 2 billion, but the dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals are all erupted from white holes in recent years, and do not require star coins. So the construction cost of the entire Zuyan is only about 500 million. The Storm Empire still has this money, but it really does not have star coins to build an interstellar fortress. The construction cost of the T5 Blue Whale class interstellar fortress is comparable to that of the War Star, and its weapons and equipment are stronger than those of the War Star. Once built, it will be much stronger than the 3 major fortresses of the Star Sea Human Federation, but the Storm Empire has no money. In order to transform its fleet from quasi T5 to T5, it just raised funds to build the War Star 2 years ago. In the past few years, Feng Mo has been building special starships on a large scale, and has already used up the Storm Empire's old foundation. The reason why the Federation is strong is that it has a development foundation of 7,000 years, and the reason why the big families are strong is that they have developed for nearly 10,000 years. The reason why the Storm Empire can catch up with them in a short time is because Feng Mo has been plundering along the way. However, its foundation is too different from the previous 2. It is just a force that has been established for less than 20 years, and it has developed fast enough. The faster the empire develops, the faster the pace of the citizens, and the nerves of people will always be tense. Feng Mo deliberately slowed down the development of the Storm Empire, but the starships and weapons that should be built still need to be built. So he and Elisa disappeared directly, and the 2 of them came to the Beast Ming Galaxy together to start the construction of the Zuyan. It took 1 year and 11 months to build the Shanghai, and it took Feng Mo and Elisa nearly a year to build the Zuyan with the help of a large number of starship engineers. Looking at the silver-white interstellar battleship in front of him, Feng Mo liked it more and more, especially when spraying the emblem. Feng Mo deliberately did not let the builder spray the emblem of the Xinghai Human Federation first, but replaced the first emblem with the Storm Empire. The second one was the Xinghai Human Federation, and the third one was the Storm Fleet emblem. This move also just shows Feng Mo's slightly inflated heart and huge ambition at this time. He wanted to make the Storm Empire superior to the entire Star Sea Human Federation, and if necessary, he could even make the entire Star Sea Human Federation have only one empire, that is, the Storm Empire. Of course, he was still a little inflated at this time. After all, this was the first D6 class interstellar battleship under the entire Star Sea Human Federation, which proved that the technology of the Storm Empire surpassed that of the Star Sea Human Federation for the first time. But the current Storm Empire cannot be regarded as a level 6 civilization, because the level of civilization is assessed based on your fleet and technological level. Even if your technological level is high, if you don't have a fleet of the corresponding level, it will eventually be plundered by other forces. So the first criterion for assessing a level 6 civilization is that your empire must have a T6 class fleet, of which at least 100 T6 class starships must be available. If it is a large fleet, the number of T6 class starships must account for at least 30% of the fleet. Of course, this is only the first step. If there is an attack, there must be defense. Interstellar fortresses, space stations, space interception devices, warp interception devices, etc. must be available. With attack and defense, a territory becomes particularly important. A level 6 civilization must have a star field that belongs to its own empire, no matter how big or small, and the minimum must not be less than 10 galaxies. Only when it has attack, defense, and territory can it be a true level 6 interstellar civilization. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 224, Wind God Fleet. Obviously, the Storm Empire can only be rated as a level 5 civilization, and it is not qualified for level 6. Feng Mo can only express helplessness about this, and there is still a long way to get. But it is still necessary to be high profile. Feng Mo and Alyssa have analyzed the design drawings of the Zuyan in detail, and they are still very confident about converting the T5 starship into a quasi T6 starship. For the time being, he does not plan to incorporate the Zuyan into the Storm Fleet, but tries to be low-key, but it does not prevent Feng Mo from being high-profile in the Star Network space. October 30th 7502 in the Federation calendar, the Storm Empire announced that the Empire Starship Design Department will start to develop and build quasi-T6 starships from now on, and the Storm Empire's technology is climbing to the T6 level. An announcement once again made all citizens of the Star-Sea Human Federation boil. The Empire's technology has always been crushed by the Federation Starship Design Department, but it is only unexpected here in the Storm Empire. Not only does it have war stars and interstellar jump ships, but its performance in stealth bombers and interstellar missile ships is also higher than that of the Federation. In the third year after the Federation announced the development of a quasi-T6 starship, the Storm Empire also announced the construction of a quasi-T6 starship. And it did not use the design drawings given by the Federation, but developed it independently. This Lord Feng Mo is indeed a master of starship design. How can he have such a brain? He crushed the entire Federation Starship Design Department by himself. As Feng Mo's secretary, Sheng Xuan looked at Feng Mo with a little contempt, but in her heart she agreed with his hiding. The Storm Empire now has only one T5 fleet and one T6 flagship. Once it is discovered that it has the technology of a T6 starship, not only the Federation, but also the interstellar mechanical race, the Zerg, and the Orcs will regard a Storm Empire as a thorn in the flesh. At that time, the Storm Empire will be surrounded by enemies and besieged to death. But if Feng Mo has a T6 and quasi-T6 mixed fleet, the Federation will not only dare not turn against him, but will try its best to help the Storm Empire overcome difficulties. If Feng Mo had a complete T6 fleet, the Federation would even take the initiative to surrender to the Storm Empire. This is not impossible. This is the strength of pan-technology. It is impossible to defeat it, at least in this star field. A T6 fleet is invincible. So Feng Mo has to continue to survive for a while. Simply put, his wings are not strong enough now. Feng Mo has been in seclusion for nearly a year. This is the 5th year that the Southern War Zone and the Interstellar Mechanical Clan have attacked each other. Both sides have suffered a lot of losses, but the strange thing is that the Interstellar Mechanical Clan is so strong. First, 3 T5 class mobile fleets were wiped out by Feng Mo, and then the Southern War Zone and the Federation went to war. Both sides suffered damage and the losses were not small. At this time, the Southern War Zone was a huge meat grinder. Feng Mo knew that at least more than 300 quasi-T5 and T5 starships of the Federation had fallen, and the Interstellar Mechanical Clan had more than this number. This is only the T5 level, and there are countless T4 level battleships and starships. Normally, The Federation and the mechanical clan would have stopped fighting and rested after losing so much, but Feng Mo heard that the interstellar mechanical clan was in a desperate attitude this time, constantly engaging in small-scale conflicts with the Federation. This phenomenon is very strange, and the Starsea Human Federation Council also finds it very strange, but there is no other way, so they can only continue to send fleets to fight with the mechanical clan. On December 1, 7502 of the Federation calendar, all the starships of the Fengshan fleet were completely updated and turned into a regular T5 and T4 mixed fleet, including a battleship flagship Fengshan, an interstellar aircraft carrier flagship Orca, 20 T5 Wolf King-class interstellar destroyers, 40 T5 Stegosaurus-class interstellar frigates, 5 T5 Bay-class interstellar supply ships, 5 T5 Yak-class interstellar carriers, and 3 T5 Artisan-class interstellar industrial ships. Among them, the Special Starship is equipped with a T5 Pegasus-class interstellar missile ship and 2 T5 Xuanyao-class stealth bomber fleets. The entire fleet has a total of 78 T5-class starships and 1,000 T4 starships. Feng Mo let the modified Fengshan fleet guard the original Young Empire and the Snow Eagle Empire, a total of 6 star systems. The Fengshan equipped in this way can completely compete with any conventional T5 fleet of the Xinghai Human Federation. The Storm Fleet is finally no longer alone. As the first fleet to be modified and updated, Kai Lan, the supreme commander of the Fengshan fleet, expressed his gratitude to Feng Mo many times. Feng Mo, of course, accepted it all and enjoyed it. With the help of the second T5 fleet, the Storm Fleet can leave the scope of the Storm Empire at any time, giving Feng Mo a lot of freedom. As the saying goes, when you are very quiet, you will think about moving. Feng Mo has been building war stars and T6 starships in recent years and has never gone out. It happened that the Federation gave Feng Mo this opportunity. December 8, 7502, the Federation calendar. The Federation once again assembled 10 T5 fleets to launch a counterattack against the interstellar mechanic clan, but this time they suffered a huge blow, with one T5 fleet completely wiped out and other fleets also slightly damaged. The reason was that a T6 class mechanical warship appeared in the interstellar mechanic clan's fleet, whose performance was simply not comparable to that of the Federation's T5 starships, and the mechanical clan warships themselves had mediocre attributes, which were very average. This attribute was not outstanding at the same level, but the performance was particularly obvious at a higher level. That is, there were no shortcomings. Because there were no shortcomings, it was difficult to concentrate fire and destroy, not to mention that in a large-scale starship, the sudden appearance of a T6 class mechanical warship was likely to be the key to turning the tide. This T6 class mechanical warship made the Federation very wary, and they also determined whether the interstellar mechanical tribe had other T6 class mechanical warships, so they could only temporarily retreat to the Suzaku Interstellar Fortress. Uncle, Good, isn't the Yunchan fleet stationed in the King Long Interstellar Fortress? Why was it transferred to the Suzaku Interstellar Fortress again? Feng Mo sat on the captain's chair in the office, looking at Gu Jun, who was a little sad on the other end of the video. Feng Mo already knew about the appearance of the T6 class mechanical warship in the interstellar mechanical tribe. Now that the Storm Empire has developed for more than 10 years, the intelligence department has been improved a lot, and Feng Mo can know a lot of news from the Federation in the first place. No, Mo, the Federation still has the same conditions as last time. Please ask the Storm Fleet to take action once. The most important thing is to bring the Shanghai together. Only it can deal with the T6 class mechanical warship. After Gujun finished speaking, a new temporary task appeared on Feng Mo's Xinhuo task panel, and he roughly browsed it. Temporary mission: arrive at the Suzaku Interstellar Fortress and completely destroy 2 T5 class mechanical fleets, including destroying the T6 class mechanical warship. Reward: design drawings of the T6 Ankylosaurus-class interstellar frigate, armored type. Feng Mo pretended to think, and after a moment, he said, "You can help me. But this time you have to let me choose 2 treasures. Uncle Gu-jun can tell the Federation that the Storm Fleet is willing to cooperate with the Federation to destroy the T6 class mechanical warship, but you need to choose 1 more treasure. I believe the Federation will agree. Chapter 225 Suzaku Interstellar Fortress. Feng Mo's request was not excessive. Sure enough, the Federation responded the next day and asked him to lead the Storm Fleet to the Suzaku Interstellar Fortress to participate in the war within 3 days. Regardless of success or failure, he would be given 2 treasures from the treasury, and he could choose any one. Feng Mo also readily agreed and notified Ao to assemble the fleet and set off on the morning of the 3rd day. The reason for setting off so late was that Feng Mo wanted to be promoted to a 4th level Gene warrior. He returned from the office to his manor on the Moonfrost main star. This was also the mansion of an old noble that he had requisitioned. The reason was that when he heard that he was calling, the whole family ran away, and Feng Mo happened to use it. When he came to the underground quiet room of the manor, Kai Lan had already prepared the 4th level perfect gene potion. Because the preparation was very difficult, Kai Lan also used 3 sets of medicinal materials in succession before he succeeded in preparing it. Unlike the light blue of the 2nd level perfect gene potion and the sky blue of the 3rd level perfect gene potion, the 4th level perfect gene potion was dark blue, and Feng Mo felt a burning sensation when he held the reagent. Looking at the level 4 perfect gene potion in his hand, Feng Mo remembered the 2 previous promotions. It was not a good experience. Thinking back to it now still makes Feng Mo a little scared. Gritting his teeth, Feng Mo raised the potion in his hand and poured it directly into his mouth. The dark blue liquid entered the mouth and flowed along the esophagus to the stomach. Along the way, there was a burning sensation, but it was not strong. After reaching the stomach, a stream of warm currents flowed into the limbs and bones. In an instant, the whole person seemed to be immersed in magma. At this time, Feng Mo's body was like a cooked prawn. He bent his body, covered his abdomen with both hands, and stumbled in the bathroom. The high temperature on his body turned the water droplets on the ground into steam. Seeing this, Al and Kai Lan on the side directly opened the sluice of the bathroom, and the ice water covered Feng Mo's whole body, but these ice water could not offset the pain of his body due to the high temperature. At this time, Feng Mo's body surface was like an interstellar worm, with blood vessels constantly shaking, and his face was pale and hideous. As Feng Mo's body was immersed in the ice water, bursts of steam attached to the top of the bathroom, making the interior of the bathroom look like a fairyland. As time passed, Feng Mo's expression gradually became calm, his consciousness regained clarity, his face became ruddy, his mental power was extremely excited, and he felt like he was about to burst out of his body. This is the difference between a level 4 genetic warrior and a level 3 one. Humans will awaken their mental power at the stage of level 4 to level 5 genetic warriors, which is similar to the awakening telekinesis of the interstellar succubus. At this time, Feng Mo had just been promoted to a level 4 genetic warrior, and his whole body was sore and weak. Al and Kai Lan looked at each other, then smiled charmingly, and the 2 lifted Feng Mo onto the soft big bed, and then like 2 female perverts, they possessed Feng Mo crazily. At this time, Feng Mo was like a small boat floating on a big river, swaying left and right with the river water, and even immersed in the river water. The next morning, Feng Mo woke up early, looking at the 2 sleeping women. Feng Mo did not disturb them, and a blue screen appeared in his eyes. Name: Feng Mo. Level 4 Gene Warrior. Occupation: Lord of the Storm Empire. Special talent: Half the Sky Territory, Storm Star Region, North Wind Galaxy, Monster Lizard, Sky Crystal Galaxy, Beast Roar Galaxy, Hurricane Galaxy, Demon, Storm Galaxy, Gale Galaxy, U3, Cold Wind Galaxy, U1, Gale Galaxy, U2, Trade Wind Galaxy, U4, Brahma Wind Galaxy, U5 Frost and Snow Star Region, Snow Eagle Galaxy, Windmill Galaxy, Auckland Galaxy, Moon Frost Galaxy, Moon Shadow Galaxy, Sea Rock Galaxy, Tongyuo Galaxy, Sakura Galaxy, Yun Galaxy, Fantasy Sound Galaxy, Dream Shadow Galaxy. Fleet: Storm Fleet, Air, Wind God Fleet, K-Island, Hurricane Fleet, Luca, Lacey, Sky Crystal Fleet, Celia, Beast Roar Fleet, Huagan, Gale Fleet, Fengtania Points, 0 points mission, promote the Storm Empire to a level 6 interstellar civilization, reward, 1,000,000 points, D6 level perfect gene potion, Feng Mo version temporary mission, 9 sons compete for the throne, help Xing Xuan become the Empress of the Star Empire, reward, T7 Kai class interstellar battleship design drawings, T7 Huayu class interstellar Stargate design drawings temporary mission, dominate the Starseed Human Federation and establish a new order, reward, 100,000 points, T7 level authority unlocked. Temporary mission, arrive at the Suzaku Interstellar Fortress and completely destroy 2 T5 level mechanical fleets, including destroying the T6 level mechanical warship, reward, T6 level warehouse. The panel is very detailed. Feng Mo glanced at it and then closed it. He has now been promoted to a level 4 genetic warrior and has a lifespan of 1,000 years, but he is only 33 years old now. 1,000 years is really a distant term for him. After being dressed neatly under the service of Al and Kai Lan, and asking Kai Lan to look after the house, Feng Mo took Al and Xing Xuan to the Moonfrost starport on an interstellar car. At this time, the Storm Fleet was ready to go, and Feng Mo boarded the main control room of the Fengshan. The target location is the Suzaku Interstellar Fortress. The route planning is complete, the fleet self-inspection is complete, and the fleet is about to enter the Level 5 Intelligent Frequency Warp Navigation Mode. Please ask the Level 2 and below genetic warriors to enter the Deep Sea Mode. Xing Xuan's voice sounded in the main control rooms of the major starships, and then the Storm Fleet officially set off. There are 3 major empires in the southern theater of war, the Tide Empire, the Tianjin Empire, and the Galaxy Empire. The comprehensive strength of these 3 empires is very strong, no worse than the Yushuang Empire. The Tianjin Empire has 3 T5 fleets, and the Tidal Empire and the Galaxy Empire each have 2 T5 fleets. After many years of fighting with the Interstellar Machine Clan, the strength of the southern theater has been greatly reduced and the opportunity for independence has been lost. It can only rely on the federal forces to jointly resist the invasion of the Interstellar Machine Clan. The entire Starseed Human Federation, surrounded by enemies on 3 sides, has built 3 huge T5 level interstellar fortresses, namely North Xuanwu, East Qinglong, and South Suzaku. As for West White Tiger, it has not been built. One is that the resources consumed to build a T5 level interstellar fortress are too huge. The other is that there is no need to defend the chaotic Star Sea. The Western Theater is enough. Who knows that the Western Theater rebels later, and then by chance, let the Storm Empire completely occupy the entire Western Theater. Nowadays, the 3 major forces of the Storm Empire, the Starseed Human Federation and the Pan-Human Alliance, can be called a tripartite force, but nominally the Storm Empire still belongs to the Starseed Human Federation. When the Storm Fleet arrived at the Suzaku Interstellar Fortress, it was warmly welcomed by a group of fleet commanders headed by Gu Jun. Feng Mo understood that these were his own people and could stand by him at critical moments. Therefore, he did not put on any airs. Regardless of whether the other party was the commander or captain of the T4 fleet, he always treated them as equals and greeted them in a friendly manner. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.